Let's see. Drum roll. Okay, we're live.
Oh shit! Let me put my pants back on.
I know. Put out the doobie.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
How is everyone doing? Let's hit us in the chat. Say hello. Who all is here? I see Jackson Taylor. I see B Star Jam. Androtaz. Sid Pernicious 30. We've got T Zelper Dang. I actually know who that is. Mr. Wayne. We've got New World Creative. We've got Sam Kushner. We've got Ethan Ricks. He had to split though. I see Ethan in a lot of the guitar show live streams that I watch. He sees me in the fanboying out. We've got King Crow. We've got Young B254. And early bird was Androtaz. He got his ass right over here. He doesn't mess around. We got more. We got Michael Hain. We got Flake 452. We got iMaze, Gingered, Vault, Cobalt, and Artist Avenue. And I want to throw this in really quick because the other live stream we had, it got a little crazy in the chat. I don't use mods here. I don't mind if you want to plug the stuff that you're working on. Just please be respectful to everyone, and that's really all I ask. But I honestly would love to be able to do this channel forever and say that I never had to ban anyone or use mods. I think that would be pretty badass. So let's all play.
Was the last one the one with Eric and everybody?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we were talking, and so I couldn't see what was going on in the chat. But I think someone was getting a little outside the box, we'll say. But you know, is there echo? Kelsey, is my audio on your end?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't hear any echo. Maybe that's on my end. Let me check real quick just to make sure. No. Oh yeah. Oh, I know why. It's me. Hang on. I got this new audio set up, and when I do these, I have to shut off my built-in output. All right, that should be better.
So we chatted for just a minute or two before the live stream started, and I was talking about I had an opportunity to actually learn or practice, work on that I didn't like. I wasn't satisfied with in my own art.
Yeah, I was curious what it was that you were focused on in your learning. Like, what was it that you felt like you could do better that you were really working on?
Yeah, I have a cheap camera. It's a Logitech, some bullshit cheapy thing. I'll definitely upgrade it. So I did probably 1,000 drawings in the last week, something like that. I did a ton of shit. I went through what I initially did. A lot of times I don't like to draw with reference, so I really forced myself to draw out of my head and just stretch my boundaries. But there are boundaries. It's like you can't know anatomy without looking at anatomy, you know, that kind of thing. So I did, I don't even know, 50 or 60 Blaster Kid drawings. I did 50 or 60 of each of the villains, just trying stuff and seeing different things. But I kind of hit a wall with it where I was like, I felt like I had tapped kind of everything that I had in my head. And so I started working on just blank spots, you know, like if I don't understand guns very well, so I was studying guns. I did a little bit of vehicle design. I did some figure drawing blank spots. I mean, I hit it hard. When I go down that rabbit hole, like I literally have to grab myself and pull myself out of it because I won't stop.
I've been kind of doing a little bit of that because I'm still trying to finish up Nexus, which I'm hoping to do today. That's kind of why I'm allowing myself a live stream. You know, to loosen up a little bit. I'm kind of getting happy. I've finished Nora Saga number 4, and now I'm finishing Nexus. So at the end of every night, I've been taking like an hour to do character designs on my book, and so I'm kind of doing the same thing in a way, but it's you know, trying. Usually I do it all on the page, but it's like I really want this to be like a feast of different, even background characters or thought about, you know, in a way. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun, just taking some free time to draw for myself, which I just don't do often anymore.
You can't go wrong with it. It was funny. Yesterday I was going through the famous artists course. It's the thing that Bernie Wrightson went through as a teenager. I bought the binders years ago from Stuart Ng. But I was going through the chapter 7 is clothing, so I was learning. I do, like, seriously, like, I'm so OCD. I literally, when I read it, I take notes and like write shit
Oh,
down. I have pages of
yeah.
it. I mean, it's like, hold on me.
You actually paid attention in school, didn't you?
Well, you want to know the honest truth? This is embarrassing to admit. I used to get hammered and go to school. Me and my friends, we were out of
Yeah.
but I would get really high grades. And you know how I got really high grades? I took copious notes.
Yeah. There you go.
I was out of my head, but yeah, I would just, like, I would write down everything, and for whatever reason, it seemed to put it into the hard drive enough.
Yeah, I mean that's actually, like, when I come up with an idea for a story, I just write it down, because man, it does help commit it to memory. You got a super chat here from Dancing
Yeah, I
Dog
saw that.
60.
Sunday Funday Bros, thanks for the tip on the Canson paper. Picked up a batch and it's damn good. Okay, really, that's great. I'm happy to hear that, because I remember you asking me about that, and not really expensive. So that was the confusing thing, is people will ask me quite often, like, what paper do I like? And the problem is that most of the paper that I generally draw on is the DC board, and they could never really give me a completely clear answer of what it was. At one point it was Strathmore, and then we believe that they switched to Canson. But I mean, I have probably 200 or 300 sheets of it here still. So, you know, that's mainly what I draw on. If I'm drawing on paper, it's just DC smooth board. And I don't draw on the front side of it. I always draw on the back side where there's no crops.
I really, really, really like, and I've been doing it for, close to 20 years, but I love drawing on typing paper. And it just has the kind of surface I want, man. What is this?
I assume he was watching Beavis and Butthead and he saw we were live, so he pushed pause on Beavis and Butthead.
No, he might be talking about us. He paused.
Yeah. And thank you, Dancing Dog, for the super chat. We appreciate it.
Yeah, so what the hell was I talking about? I forgot.
Paper.
Oh yeah, I love drawing on typing paper. Like, especially like my blue pencils, my Colorase. I don't know, the smoothness of it. It just handles the pencil, but inks, doesn't hold for inks, and it's really thin. But is there a drawing surface that's good for, what do you call it? Longevity? I don't know. But has that kind of surface, like a good drawing paper that has.
I mean,
would that be smooth?
I've been around comic art and original comic art for my whole career. I was lucky enough. It's funny because I've actually been chatting with Scott Doombier in a couple of emails this morning. But Scott Doombier was hired at Wildstorm right around the same time as I was. And if you don't know who Scott Doombier is, if you have an artist edition, you can thank him for that concept of the book, because that was his baby. But Scott was a very successful art dealer for many years before he worked at Wildstorm. And when I first met Scott, he brought in his whole art collection company into Wildstorm, and they rebranded it as Wildstorm Fine Arts. But Scott had all kinds of stuff. I mean, you could go in Scott's office and see like Kent Williams, John J. Muth, like Havoc Wolverine pages, like originals, like he had like.
Is that when they started selling the Wildstorm pages in the back of the book? You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always liked that. I'm here for the free food and booze.
I want to give Chip a shout out. So I've known Chip since we were probably in 2nd or 3rd grade, and how we met is very funny. Chip and I were both huge Kiss fans as kids, and if you were a Kiss fan as a kid, you knew
I used to beat up guys like you.
No, right. Well, what's funny is, so Chip and I, we didn't go to the same school though, so he knew just based on my fandom of Kiss that I was the other Kiss kid.
The other, exactly.
You knew that. You were like, oh, that kid, I've seen that kid, he likes Kiss. And so we've been friends. But Chip has been my assistant for filling in blacks for geez, I don't even know, 10 or 15 years. So I really can't thank Chip enough for all the help that he's given me over the years, because a lot of those deadlines on books and stuff like that,
Oh
man, you
yeah.
need someone to step in. It's the equivalent of like color flats, you know. It's just
Oh
really
yeah. To me,
um
those are like to people like us. Those are the unsung heroes. Letterers like high end of those lesser thought of people. But you can't do it without them. I mean, they're so essential.
oh, Chip has saved my ass. I mean,
High
like
schools, man. Yeah.
this is how I explain to people that don't really understand. Okay, so filling in blacks on a page of art can take anywhere from probably an hour to 2 hours. In a month, that's 20 to 40 hours worth of work that is thankless. It's very like taxing. And boy, it's hard. It's hard work, man. So I can't thank Chip enough.
I'd love to have a system, not to get out of the work, but I love the Japanese studio system. And I used to talk to Stelfreeze about this. It's like, why can't we have this here? Because I love the idea of like a little group of people and you can have your inside jokes. And it's like a little studio, but it's like Gaijin was at the time when I was there, but everybody be working on the same thing. And he's like, well, you can't really do that in America because everybody's got to be numero uno. Everybody's
Right.
got their own voice. Everybody's individual. It's really hard to come together to do like one thing. But I don't know. I think, to have an apprenticeship type of thing,
Yeah.
maybe with college kids wanting to get out of college and looking to have a leg up in a professional world. That's
Yeah.
how guys like Neil Adams, I think, did it in his
Oh,
studio.
for
Right?
sure. Well,
Yeah.
two very famous students that he had was Richard Bennett and Aaron Weisenfeld. Both of those guys came up
Yeah.
through continuity, and that's like, dude, Aaron Weisenfeld, as most people know, is insane.
And Bennett. Jeez, man. Both
Yeah,
those guys.
yeah,
I saw Bennett still out there. He was doing.
he
I
is.
saw a video. It's probably several years old at this point, but man, just watching him pencil, ink, and I
Yeah,
think
Ian
even
Hannon shared
color.
those. That's Ian Hannon's YouTube channel. He was
Yeah,
a colorist for Wildstorm and really, really good. I mean, he was there before I got hired. I remember Ian when I first got there. But so we both did our image of the week. So that
yeah.
you
Oh
understand
yeah.
what this is, it's something that you saw during the week that just stood out to you as a really cool image. It doesn't have to be comic book related. It's just, you're on the internet, you see a photograph or you see a drawing or a sketch or some old Renaissance painting that someone shares, and it just makes an impression on you. So you let me know when you're ready. I'll share your screen. You can go first.
Oh, okay. Let me
Or
see.
I can, either or. I've
All
got
right,
mine open in Photoshop.
there we go.
All right. Oh, it looks like Carlos Deanda.
Oh wait, that's not what I meant to share. Sorry, that's Frega sent that to me, and I was like, why am I on a box? I don't understand. No. Here, this is the one.
Good thing you weren't like, it wasn't like a nude photo of you.
Yeah.
Fired up.
No. This is the one. This has been on my mind for years and
Okay.
years, and I found it
Cool.
again. It's from and I can't remember the artist. He's very, very famous in Hong Kong, in the Hong Kong
I
comic
was going to say
scene.
that's Chinese. I have
Yeah,
some of those. I have some of those books. These
yeah.
these books are amazing.
And I forget this guy's name. He's got kind of a funny English name. I know that's not his name, but that's like his pen name. But maybe somebody knows in the chat. But I love.
I'm gonna look for my book real quick. I think I have a book of
Okay.
it.
I loved this particular piece because of like the dry brushing and stuff, but how clean it is. Like I come from the clean school, where everything, I can't help it. It's like, and I'm trying to learn how to loosen up, but I love this combination where it's super clean, but in this rough way. I don't even know how to describe clean roughness, but he's got this dry brushing but everything makes sense. Like the wrinkles, I don't know. It has so much mood. God, I freaking love this thing.
I couldn't find the
Yeah,
book.
manhwa.
What's the name? Do you know the name of the comic?
It's probably Legendary Heroes,
Okay.
I think, which is a very classic book there in Hong Kong. And it's very specific to Hong Kong and not China. So the Hong Kong is very different than the rest of China. Their movies are different. And it's so funny because when I was young and I'd get stuff from like, I guess would be like northern China, like the movies and stuff, it was all in Mandarin. So it was a different language. And I was always like, why is this so different? I mean, the language was more like wah, 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 like that instead of the dun, 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 like that. That sounds really racist, but I'm just trying to explain the difference in sound.
Yeah.
But like their movies were also different. The typical Chinese kung fu flick was more historical, whereas the Hong Kong stuff was very modern.
I have a friend that's really into a lot of the Korean series that Netflix has been putting up, and he loves them. He's not a comic book guy; he's just a regular dude. But he's been telling me for months. He's like, "You have to check out like these Korean."
The Korean stuff is very like they're westernized in the way that China and Japanese aren't, in a weird way, and their movies and storytelling are so good, man. They get characterization. Their storytelling is top notch. I just love that stuff. I'd highly recommend any of that stuff too. Like I've seen some really fun things, intense stuff too, man.
These books too, if I'm not mistaken, the way that they do the storytelling is very, very unique. You have some pen and ink work that is the most mind-numbingly detailed stuff you've ever seen, and then they'll have painted pages, and then they'll have pages that look like this, and the story just flows with these different styles.
I have to think that that's their way of like the Japanese when they personifying emotions. Like if somebody gets sick, they make a funny face. I have to think that that's their way of personifying a great moment is to do fully painted. This panel to really emphasize this moment that's happening.
yeah. But that is really, really cool. I'm going to pull this down so I can see it. Like we've talked about how complicated it is to do things like, well, it's interesting because there's dry brush on this. Mignola posted this morning that he did dry brush on a piece, and he said it was the first time in his career in like 35 years of doing work that he'd ever actually like intentionally used dry brush on a piece. And he said it gave him so much anxiety. He was worried about it all night. And what he said when he woke up in the morning, he looked at it again and he was like, oh, okay, he liked the look of it. But
cool.
I don't really use dry brush that much either. I do like the look of it, but it's
I like a little accent of it,
Yeah, it's this leap that you make that it's you go to a different place.
Yeah, you really have to like, give into the medium, and just like whatever will be, because it's almost impossible to get out your correctional fluid. You have to start over. You can't just like erase like a part of it. Oh, this little part doesn't work, because then it's dry brush. It's really hard to mimic that.
But I've been experimenting with these. I think people will recognize them that know what these are. But these are the pens that like Ashley Wood uses, and this artist. Oh gosh, what is his name? Alan. Not I can't think of his name. But so these are real interesting. They get a very weird, varied line. These are the of course they don't have a name on them. Or I guess they do. Pilot parallel pen. But if you look at the tip, it's a metal weird, like almost chisel tip.
Almost like a pen nib.
Yeah, it's real weird. It's super narrow. But I was experimenting with these to try to get some new looks. But it's a square, like a flat metal tip, and then there's little cuts in it, like little things.
Dang it. I was trying to find my art supplies because I was messing around with a pen that you probably heard of, but what are those? Oh, those are pilots. Where can you get them? Just online?
Pens. I bought these on oh god, what is it called? It's a Japanese supply store that everyone uses. Okay. Jet pen. Pen.
That's actually what I started. I was following this guy who's a French dude, works in Japan, and he always had these blue pens. And
there's a blue one of these too.
They have a little bit of give to the tip, but they're water fast, so he's able to do watercolor on top of them.
Right.
And he's like, they're in every like the equivalent of 7-Eleven or whatever corner
Right.
store they have in Japan. It's like you could find these anywhere. And then after I went and got some, which they're super cheap and they are great, I started noticing like everybody using them.
Right.
It's like, oh shit, this is actually like a very normal pen.
Yeah.
I'm just now discovering.
Yeah, the only one that I didn't buy was the blue one, funny enough. But there's 4 colors, so there are 4 different size indicators. But yeah, the blue cap one is the one that I should have got it too, but I was like, I don't need all these sizes. So the artist that I chose, or the image that I chose, is I love this guy's stuff. Honestly, he's probably my favorite thing that I see on Instagram daily. Let me share my screen really quick. Or wait, I need to share screen.
I'm not actually moist. My lighting is super hot. Let me see if I can turn it down.
I can't remember how. So do I click share screen? It's been long enough. Like share screen, and then
share screen, and then you go to, if it's an app, if it's like an application.
There it is. Yeah, it was. It's not reading that Photoshop is open. Come on, that's weird. Let me. It doesn't. It's not showing that Photoshop is open. Let me try this again. I'm going to shut Photoshop and then reopen it, I think. Or well, let's see now if it realizes it. Let me see.
Yeah, I think Manhwa. I think they use that also for. I don't know about Thai books. That's interesting. I never really. Whoa.
So this is Albie. His name is. Well, let me read his name real quick. I got it on my thing. It is Albanias Rodriguez. I freaking love this guy's stuff. Every day when he posts a new piece, his technique of painting this stuff is so badass.
Oh, I thought it was a sculpture.
He uses these very translucent swatches of color in probably Photoshop or something. They could even be on Procreate. But dude, this guy kills it. So I've got a few open, but
it's so wow.
Look at this.
How 3-dimensional is that stuff? That's so great.
Look at the colors and the eyes.
The richness in how the red in the nose is something I'm always trying to do in color, but it always looks like, oh, they got like a Rudolph nose.
Right.
This is like such a great example of how that works really well.
This guy crushes it. I always like when if I talk to anyone about art, generally I'll send them this guy's like Instagram link and be like, follow this dude because he draws so good. Let me show you a couple more. It sucks too because he actually does a lot more art than is on his Instagram, but he does it in his stories and then doesn't seem to upload it. So it's kind of frustrating because
those stories bug me because I'm like, what is this? Just give me the art.
Right, exactly. He did this beautiful great white shark drawing.
Oh wow.
Isn't it crazy? And he does this like soft focus painting in the background. It's so crazy. The eyes are so wet too.
Well, he's obviously referencing photographs that are very shallow depth of field, but the way he's doing the caricature, it's such a great juxtaposition. It's so real looking, but it's obviously extreme caricature.
Yeah.
That's great. Good lighting. God, that looks real. Oh man, impressionism, man. I love that. Those just loose brush strokes, but
look at the water
back and it looks like a photo.
Like this is so good. But yeah, this he's probably my favorite artist that I follow on Instagram right now, which is weird because it's not very comic booky, but the heart wants what the heart wants. So you ready to get into some Capcom?
Yeah, I was reading the chat talking a little bit about Ashley Wood. Yeah, I don't know if he still does comic work, but he's in that kind of vein.
He's been selling a bunch of NFT prints. Do you want to talk about that for a second? Do you understand NFTs?
No, I don't.
Non-fungible. We'll get into that some other time then. That's a whole nother rabbit hole.
I heard somebody else talking about that. Like, what is NFT or something like, and I didn't watch the video, but I was like, not safe for work. I don't.
No, it's it's complicated. It's the selling of like JPEGs basically, but they're encoded
Oh,
with like sort of information, and it's a whole thing. But Ashley's been
oh, yeah. We gotta do. Yeah, we should do a whole discussion on that because that's interesting topic actually.
there's an artist that got a lot of notoriety. Beeple art, Beeple. I've been following.
Yeah,
So Beeple is a digital artist. He kind of does like short animations, but they sold. He did this thing called 5,000 Days, which is like daily uploads of like these really
yeah.
surreal, kind of dark.
Wait, is people the chat probably knows because I noticed that I'm not the only one that watches Corridor Digital, but is Beeple the guy that shows up on that occasionally? He's real quirky. If that's him, actually, he's got such a good head on his shoulders. I think he's a lot of fun. So yeah, I can't
Yeah,
can't fault the guy for
his no, but
succeeding.
but anyway, but they did an auction at Christie's, and his piece went for $69 million. Yeah, it's the third highest amount paid for a living artist's work, and they
Yeah, but
basically
it's not even real. It's ones and zeros. I don't know that
yeah,
my brain can wrap itself around that.
it's
Selling,
it,
bits.
yeah. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong one. Yeah, it's very very trippy, but it's an interesting thing. I mean,
This is why I love print, and I'm not afraid of digital because I'm really after print. Like I gotta have, that's the final form of what we do is print. So digital comics, I don't know, it seems like it's not
yeah.
there yet, but buying a digital, that would be like buying, like I'm gonna buy X-Men #1, but only the digital file
So
for $69 million or whatever.
well, right. Well, and this was my thing on it is okay. I've actually for years had this concept in mind. I'm not going to like fully expose the whole thing because I haven't seen anyone do it, but I have my own sort of version of NFTs that I created a long time ago, honestly. But I think it would be more interesting if you could actually get the raw files like that. I could see where if like say like I bought a piece of art off you, a cover that you did, but you had worked on it digitally. So not only would I get your unflat files, I would get all the files. I would get every work in progress that you saved of it. Like to me, that would be more interesting where it's like you're not just getting the final piece as a flattened TIFF file or PSD or whatever it is, but you're getting, WIP 1, WIP 2, WIP 45. You're getting WIP meaning work in progress for people
Right.
like, what is he talking about? And then a final unflattened file. So for like Beeple, because he does animations, if you were buying all that information, you were buying, the unfinished, unedited things. To me, that's more interesting.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That guy who spent that much money on a JPEG
Right.
basically isn't buying the JPEG.
Right.
He's buying Beeple. Beeple is a personality. He's
Yeah.
famous. He's interesting. That guy's got a story,
Yeah.
that will live on for history. I read this whole thing about is it the art or the artist? And most of the times in the art world, it's the artist. That's why you have gallery shows. It's really to meet the artist, and you have wacky stories. A lot of times they're weirdos, like us.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like it for the art and care less about who drew it.
Right. Well,
well, I don't know. That's not true.
Like I'm a huge David Cho fan. David Cho's art is actually very cool and very interesting to look at, but David's story and mounting stories, his whole thing is really
I'm far more interested in Cho than Cho's art. Yeah, he's such a character. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, so now for Capcom, let's get into Capcom. Do you want me to start with the original Capcom art book?
That would be great. It's been so long since I've looked at that stuff, and
you're opening the files while we're talking.
You'd mentioned this several times since we started doing videos, and it just never seemed to happen. And then today, or yesterday, when we were talking about what we were going to do, and you mentioned it again, it just seemed like a good time because I'm my brain is real scattered and everything, and I think I could use a little inspiration. And this is such a huge work for, at least I'm sure everybody, but in America, coming up in comics in like the 90s and 2000s, man, well, at least the 90s, Capcom, and this specifically this Capcom art book, was like a reference book. It was like a holy Bible for comic guys, you know. It's a big deal.
Who gave you your first taste of Capcom?
I wonder, man, I'm pretty sure I was vibing on that tip like around the same time that guys like you know, Joe Mad were, but it didn't, you know, it didn't click on me when I saw his work.
Yeah,
that he was into Capcom for some reason, but you know, everybody was gelling on the same stuff, so I don't remember where it came from. Probably just, I don't know, it just hit me. I don't think anybody showed me. It just came to me. A lot of times this stuff will find you.
All right, we're adding it to the stream.
What I find hilarious is when get rid of Pete's thing so we can see.
Oh, all right, sorry.
Let's see the whole deal. Yeah, this, I don't know if I had this cover either. I think I had a different version.
My cover was this for mine. So now, for me to go full screen mode, I guess I just go into Photoshop and then never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, you could just do full screen there.
Yeah, okay. So I'll zoom in on it.
But as a disclaimer, I'm definitely into Capcom for the design and the art of it. I have the hardest time playing their games. I want to love these games, but they are hard. Japanese games in general are hard. The controls are weird. Like, I love Street Fighter. I love to play Street Fighter. I've bought several different Street Fighters, and I cannot get past like the first stage.
Right.
I suck at it. I'm not a fighting game guy. I'm like a puzzle game guy.
Yeah.
But their design is like, you know, legendary. Yeah, this is not exactly what I was talking about. But
no, this is the end of the book. I actually like these little drawings, though. They're funny.
Yeah. So what are these? These are known as chibi.
I think so.
Little stubby figures.
Yeah. I love his back. It looks like an ass.
Yeah, but you don't grow up in the 80s and 90s without being a fan of Street Fighter, or at least on some level. I mean, you know, and Darkstalkers, I think, probably came out in the 90s.
Oh, look at these. These little drawings are so badass. I'll zoom in so we can see them real good.
But when all this stuff started hitting me, I think what it was is that I was working at Anarchic Press, and I was getting a deep dive into Japanese stuff because that was an American manga company, and they had magazines and magazines because Ben Dunn had pen pals and stuff, and that used to be how they did it before the internet. You had pen pals that lived in Japan, and they would send you video tapes of just TV. You'd have like a video cassette with like 10 hours of just Japanese TV commercials and everything. And so I got really steeped in art books. He had art books from Miyazaki, from different animations, and probably the Capcom book.
Here's Calibretto right here.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Look at that. Wow, that's very close. That's probably a big inspiration for that.
Yeah, I would think so.
So yeah, seeing this stuff changed my work completely. I started going into more of because I was already a huge fan of Disney, and like I was like, I want to bring some of this animation style, the clean line, you know, to comics. But I wasn't the only one thinking that at the time.
Sorry, there's a lot of intro to the book. Here we go. Booty. Oh, I actually I was funny.
That's great.
I was playing. I have a PS Now account, which is like basically like Netflix for PlayStation Network, and I was playing one of the new fighting games with this girl using this character. She's a hottie.
It's very 80s style. Oh, that's a great pick.
Yeah,
that's actually a guy there. It's Little Do You Know.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
I can tell you a funny story. The Rolling Stones Sticky Fingers album, if you've ever seen the front of it, it's basically a shot of like someone's pants, like from right here, and there's a huge male thing in it. As a kid, I thought it was. As a kid, I thought it was girls' pants. I was like, not
she's
looking
just
at.
got some. She's got some Mentos in her pocket.
Yeah, he's a Foo Fighters fan apparently.
Poison. Yeah, yeah. It's a lot. People are saying. I see ginger or yeah, Ginger Red, is that how you say it?
Yeah, she's
I'm saying Kelsey, love the look of the games, but I stink at playing them. Books and animation is how I enjoy Capcom and Udon. That's so true.
So now let me. So this is Akimon. So Akimon and Bengis are the two sort of superstar artists from this group. Is that correct? Or
Man, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little loose on who does what. I just know that I respond to works differently. Like this piece is not really doing much for me, but I like the lighting on it.
Right.
The light, it reminds me of who's that European guy? Not Creepax. Who am I thinking of? I don't know. Yeah, see, this is okay. It's a little stiff for me, this stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't respond to like everything in the book, that's for sure.
No worries.
Akimon. Yeah, Akimon is what everybody's saying. Akimon is legendary. Is this Akimon here? You don't know?
Oh, you're asking me?
Chad knows, yeah.
Oh, this is Akimon. This piece is Akimon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
I think most people really like Bengus's stuff. Bengus, he's the crown jewel.
Who's the guy that designed the Darkstalker stuff?
You'll have to ask the chat. I don't know.
Yeah, I really like that. Nishimura, Kino Nishimura is another guy.
Okay.
Everything Shivers is saying. Yeah, I mean, I always responded to like the loose sketches stuff too. When it got finished like this, but that's like with everybody. I seem to like the sketch stuff best.
What I loved about these books is a young artist just getting a Wildstorm. Really, my only exposure to art at that point was the comic books that I would buy that came out and a few art books. What was unique about these books, honestly, was the fact that you could see the characters clearly.
Yeah.
And they were like pulled out of a scene. So it was like dynamic stuff, but you could see the whole drawing. And that was really helpful to like go, oh, okay, that's how you would draw that. And there's not 50 million things around it and smoke covering parts of the legs or.
Right. And their anatomy is generally spot on or very close. You can look at that and clearly go, oh, I see how they fold and
right, or like the collarbone and things like that. So I found these drawings very helpful in terms of construction, honestly.
Yeah, and the poses and stuff are really fun.
Exactly.
That's something hard to do when you're thinking about doing something cool. I mean, we always have the same kind of like dynamic shots, but then you look at this and you're like, well, that's dynamic, but it's totally in like a different way than I've normally seen.
Now, you might be able to tell, like, what would this be? An acrylic painting, probably?
Gosh, that's really interesting question. I would. My gut says marker.
Marker, really? Wow.
Well, because of the way the texture looks on the paper, but I don't know. Those clouds in the background look painted. So
yeah.
But see, there's techniques that you can do with marker that the car designers use, where you can almost airbrush with it. So some of that stuff, it actually you could put a marker with an airbrush thing behind it and spray the marker ink, onto the paper. But I don't know. That's very gouache. Could be.
Oh, maybe it's gouache.
Could be. That's really
I need to get gouache.
That's such a great thing when you can like pull a fast one and like, what technique am I using? Smart guy.
Yeah. Right. Oh, see, and these are great. Again, it's to me.
This is marker. See, it looks similar to me.
Right, and this is what I was talking about with the poses and the anatomy, and you could just see it so clear and go, oh, okay, I could rip this off,
So who is this guy? I'm asking chat because I liked this style more because it pushes the caricature of it more. So like
Right.
when the faces are very extreme, the body types are very. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Piston Honda there or whatever his name was. I'm still thinking of is that was his name? He would go. I forget his name.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's Guile, right? So I barely remember these guys' names. But yeah, I love how this guy pushed it a little further.
This is probably Bengus, if I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, I can't remember their names. E Honda, there you go. I said Piston Honda. What was that from?
Yeah, they don't. So this
Guile is the guy with the hair, the Air Force guy, right?
right. Oh man, yeah. These have got.
Darkstalkers is
Yeah, these
designed
are
by
Bengus.
Bengus.
That's what I thought. It's Bengus.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm more of a Bengus guy because
Yeah.
I love how he pushes it just a little bit further.
Yeah.
And what I got a lot of this is how they rendered lighting with the flats.
Right.
I'm not sure anybody was really doing that here in the States, so that was really kind of neat, except for animation, but not to this level.
This is so good. Man, this is great.
Okay, taint. Gross.
Look at that. Look at the arms.
That guy is M. Tyson.
Yeah. I think it is though, right?
I don't know. Yeah, Mikey Tyson there. Yeah, so fun, man. Because I was really into anime and the extreme stuff too. The guy that designed Battle Angel Alita had this real hard edge style like this, and this was a little more organic. But it's
that pose.
Yeah, the details and stuff. So those aren't spikes coming off of them. That's his trying to figure out movement.
Man.
See how I don't think those guys had spikes coming off them.
That's a good question.
That's a different way to like. You could tell he's trying something. Like, let me try something here, but I don't think they have spikes.
It does actually add a little bit of oomph to the punch, though. To be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I like they do little speed lines around, like when something's in motion, they'll render the outline in like speed lines. I kind of like that too.
See, this guy's got it going on too. He's got speed lines and then the impact. The impact is those splayed, are these things, and then this is the motion. So it's
not sure if I dig that or not, but it is different. It's trying something new. It's kind of neat.
Yeah. How would you color that?
I would probably make it invisible, I wouldn't color it the same. Like I would make it lighter and kind of fade into the background, and I'd knock out the line work so that it doesn't look like spikes coming off of them. I'd try to render it in such a way that it would look like a blur without blurring it.
This page is my favorite page that we've looked at so far. This is really good shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I got into. I love the Mega Man stuff, but I don't know if that's in this book or not.
So this is Shoei or Shuai. Shoei. I'm not sure how you would pronounce it. This is nice.
This looks like straight up airbrushing.
Airbrush.
Yeah. It's really good though.
Yeah.
I miss this kind of stuff. It's so dated though. The 80s, airbrushy, but I love it. It really brings me back to a time of like toy box art look like this.
You can actually see the canvas. Like if you really look, do you see the squares of the canvas?
Kal-El says, "Tiger uppercut."
Yeah, this is some pretty textury paper that he was doing it on, or the weave of the canvas. You can really see it.
Yeah. Somebody's got this hanging on their wall. I'm still obsessed with where is all this Japanese art.
I know. Where is all the original art? It's just in flat files somewhere.
Now see, I like this more. I love being able to see the brush strokes and how the paint mixed. I don't know. It's way rougher. But
this is probably acrylic or gouache then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. If it's acrylic, it's really watered down, but yeah. This is cool. I love that. Look at her eyes. I don't know. There's like life in it. I don't know. I love this stuff.
That's really good.
Yeah, toy box art. Yeah, there's some good stuff in toy box art.
You can
Yeah,
really see his brush strokes and stuff like in this. I'm not sure if it comes through on the video, but it's this definitely looks hand drawn. Hand drawn on
yeah.
like board or paper or whatever it is. But
What used to blow me away with these painters like this is like how they did lighting, and now I have like a better idea of lighting. I could probably do it easier on the fly, but these guys have done thousands and thousands of drawings before they ever got to these ones that we're seeing, I'm sure.
here's more Bangus.
Yeah, I love this stuff. Yeah, this is much more my wheelhouse. Big giant arms. Look at
Yeah.
those thighs on her, man. It's just
Oh, yeah.
huge. Yeah, it's fun. I never understood that dude with the hair coming out of his boot. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what
I
is
know.
that?
I was just noticing that too. It's funny. He's got little patches of bush.
Tuft of leg hair, but only on the shin.
I like the color that he chose to do the like shadows, like the purples
Yeah.
with the sort of blue.
That's something I see the Hildebrands do a lot. Like if you look at their Marvel painted card set, they'll use purple a lot for shadow, and then have the bright yellow, almost white for highlight.
This is so badass. These
It's
poses
great.
are great. He really was able to get into the attitude of the characters.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
even love
love
the
it.
name Bingus. That just sounds like a good artist name.
Yeah.
I need a name like that, like
Yeah, right.
Doofus. Art by Doofus.
Stupid. It's good. It's got a good ring to it. It's memorable too.
Yeah,
Like Beeple.
Beeple, exactly. Then I could sell it some digital art for millions of dollars.
Like I've got digital files. DC actually sent a letter out to everyone. I got one too about like the NFTs for like comic art, and they're like, don't sell them because they own the characters. Well, I saw a guy, he was like selling a Darth Vader piece, or he's going to put it up, and I'm thinking like, you don't own Darth Vader, dude. You sell that, if it goes for a lot of money, they're going to tap your ass.
Oh yeah, they do it all the time. There's a new guy trying to do it right now, but I remember when James Jean was trying to sell his prints, and like they don't care up to a certain point.
Yeah.
Once you start making more money than they are, then they're like, hey,
Yeah. Look at this. The colors on this guy's cape are so kick-ass. It looks like Corbin a little bit.
Yeah, that dual lighting, under lighting. Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, this makes me want to like pull out paints and markers and stuff, because man, there's nothing like being able to like set back with a piece of paper and like the full rendering is there.
Yeah.
It just looks magical somehow.
Well, it's interesting because I call them Instabites. That's my new nickname for it. Is like people that really try to hustle on Instagram and constantly post like little pieces on Instagram. The one thing that this guy is great at is like he does these single character drawings that are actually pretty interesting to look at with no there's no background behind them, but they do a lot of them tell a little tiny bit of a story. Maybe not all on this particular page, but there's a real art to that.
Andrew Tess says Kelsey's pen name is Bang Bus. Yeah,
Bang Bus. There you go. Get on the Bang Bus.
Not Bangus. Bang Bus. Yeah. Oh, see, I love this. It's even looser. The watercolor.
Yeah. This looks like watercolor. I was just going to say that too.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, it could be still gouache or acrylic, but yeah, that watery,
look at this.
Loose look. I mean, and I love how they leave the white of the paper. So much of it. That's such a tricky thing to do. It looks great.
Look at this. The lines aren't even like connected on a lot of this.
Yeah, Vega. Everybody's saying names. Vega, Bison, Cammy. All the names are iconic. I don't know if that's just because we're used to hearing them our whole life, or if they really do have iconic qualities. I think they do. Cammy.
Look at this post.
It's so great.
Great, man.
Yeah, I love the minimal rendering. If you look close, you can see he's got little feathering around some of the edges, like of the E Honda or the See, there's just a little bit of feathering and stuff.
Again, it's very, very heavily textured board. Do you see this like kind of grid effect that it's got?
I'm wondering if that's the paper and this is the scan. No, I mean the paper of the print.
No, that's on the art because it's not on everything. they're using a very coarse like watercolor paper or something like that.
That might be why the line is so sketchy, you know, because when
Right.
you're using that heavy paper, it's hard to do thin detail lines. Look at the beefiness of these guys.
Yeah.
Insane Goof looks like a madman.
Yeah. Blanca. This character's name is Blanca?
Yeah, Blanca. Yeah.
That's a weird name for him. He should be called like Dragon Man or something.
I think my favorite character to play was either Chun-Li or E Honda. I think was the big dude because he would fly across. He would always be in the bathhouse, which I thought was funny.
There's Vega, Bison,
There you go.
Cammy. People
Yeah.
know books. They're anticipating the pages coming. They know what's coming.
Balrog. That's
Balrog,
his
that's
name.
cool.
Yeah. That guy was cool as hell.
This is a great little drawing. He kind of reminds me of like an Elric type style character. Like slightly effeminate, but probably pretty much a badass. Super smart.
I played a lot more Mortal Kombat than I did. So, some of these I'm forgetful of. Fei Long. See, I'm not even sure of that guy. That's what they needed. Talk about making movies and remakes. Why don't you remake a sweet Street Fighter movie? That'd be great. Like do it for real this time. T-Hawk.
Yeah. Huge.
A white guy with Indian heritage, I guess.
Right. He looks like he's like 9 feet tall.
His name is Tom Hawk. No,
maybe it was Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Tony. It's Tony Hawk. Yeah.
Tony would have been known kind of in the early 90s for sure.
DJ. I wonder how many of these were like Americanized names that just kind of stuck, because I know that when it came here, they changed some stuff, right?
Oh, right. See if there's a credit.
I like the style. I like the looseness. It's a little tighter, but you can still. Oh, see this technique? I love this where he paints go down.
Oh,
the color of the background. You see how he painted that as that's like your ambient tone. So all the shadow and even the highlights and stuff are kind of tinted by that one color. But I love how in the background it just kind of fades out. So it's just the outline. Yeah. That's such a fun technique.
So on these characters back here that are sitting pretty heavily in this color, then what he did is just put in a little bit of the flesh tone, right? Like that's all that the color is.
It's just that background color with like a tiny bit where the light is hitting.
Right.
Hey, I got a super chat here. Volt Kobold, $5. Goes to show you how great art just holds up. Also, check out the Havoc mailing list on Indiegogo. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So they're saying that T-Hawk is Thunderhawk, and he's actually Mexican.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's accurate, but
well, I mean, that's Mexicans or just Native Americans back in the day. Right. Go far enough back, and everybody's South American.
This is pretty cool.
Peruvian.
Got a little Bruce Lee.
That is awesome. Ah, God. This is something I'd love to have hanging on my wall. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Look how awesome that is. That shadow color of the purple.
Yeah. Oh, these are like, it's funny. This is like early Photoshop, even though it's a painting, but like this distorted, these statues here, they look like they're very transformed.
You think they did it with photocopy, or you think they maybe took a photo at an angle and then photocopied it to give it that flat quality?
Yeah. This guy's clearly using some reference on these. Like this, there's a basis of realism ish in his stuff. This sky looks great too. Actually, this is beautiful.
Kirk Lou says Thunderhawk. Is that what the T stands for?
Yeah.
I love the eyebrows, the eyes. This is I'm trying to do more of this with the Japanese and the manhwa stuff. They love some crazy eyebrows, and it really does focus the eyes and everything when you have some cool bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
That has so much energy, man. You could see that Bruce Lee guy just going, "War!"
Yeah. Dude, look at the anatomy on this guy's arms, man. His deltoids are just pumping.
God, this whole part right here, especially at like this angle when you're doing that angle that they're doing, is so tricky for me to get the muscles right. And he's got them almost perfect.
Yeah,
If not perfect, it looks good.
Yeah.
But I still like the cartooniness in the faces, like he's pushing it, stretching them, doing weird stuff with it.
Yep, that's very, very cool. All right, let's keep going. We got so much art to look at. It's crazy. Ooh, pencil sketches.
That was an arcade flyer, says Matthew Fowler. Oh, God, arcades. I miss those.
Oh, yeah. Look at these pencil
sketches. Love it. Yeah, loose pencil stuff.
Man.
This is where you kind of see, like, I see marks that they made that they didn't keep. And I'm like, oh, I love that mark, like, like Chun-Li's eyes. I love that, the simplicity of it, but there's so much character there. Until they spend a lot of time on the eyes there.
This is an exciting silhouette on her arm. How bouncy it is.
Yeah, this looks like the same guy that does I'm sure it is that did the Darkstalkers stuff. You can tell the kind of blockiness of the muscle shapes. Which I still kind of do. It makes me wonder if I got that from this dude.
This is interesting, like the collarbones, like where he places it, because this is a huge beefy arm, but he plants it right here. I mean, your bones don't really grow with the size of your body, so.
Jeffrey D asks, which book is this? This is the first Capcom.
This is called Capcom Illustrations.
Yeah, Volume 1, I guess. Did they do more than one?
The second one is called Design Works.
Oh, okay. I love the fingers there on. Yeah, these are different names. Dalsim. That wasn't his name, was it?
Dalsim.
Volt Koborg says Zangief is thick. Yeah.
Bison and Bison.
Dale says, I kind of thought you guys would be streaming video games.
Sort of.
Kind of.
Sort of. Ooh. God, these are great, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cool drawings.
Ooh.
Look at the shot, the angle that he chose to do this drawing at. It's very interesting.
It's totally extreme and not accurate at all, but I tell you what, it's interesting. It's compelling. It's kind of hard to look away from, and it makes me want to do that, just like not worry about, is that neck too long or whatever? Does it create the emotion of what you're going for? Just let it go.
It's art is such a fascinating thing. It just any kind of, if you're creating something from nothing, it used to frustrate me, honestly. When I first started collecting comics, one of the first things that I noticed real quickly was I found it disappointing that people weren't more creative in the medium. As funny as that sounds, I felt like American comic books were very derivative of their own works, and I constantly was going like, man, in comic books you could literally do anything, like anything goes, as long as you create it and you can consistently do something like that. Really, any style could possibly work. And I always found it weird that there was so much stuff that was similar. It's like, you could go beyond that, so it's kind of weird. It was like, oh, this is cool. And then I was like, man, people aren't very original.
So everything Shiver says, I found a Capcom Street Fighter Anatomy reference guide a while back. It was for new Capcom artists back in the day. Would it be okay to post the link? Yeah. I think you have to be a moderator to post links, and he doesn't do moderators here. But if you want to post it, go to the Twitter link to this. We posted several links that I'll go back there and look at like stuff like that. So please, I'd love to see that.
I've heard of the thing that he's talking about and never been able to find it online. So please, you can direct message us too on Twitter and just send it over, and I'll share the link in the description box for everyone. But yeah, I've actually heard of that thing that he's talking about, but never seen it as far as I know.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I'd love to check that out.
This is cool. Well, it's oh man, look at these.
Oh,
I don't even remember this page. I kind of remember this though. Actually, this almost is starting to lean into a little bit of the Metal Gear Solid design,
Yeah.
that gritty Zipatone thing.
But these are pencils just darkened, but they added zip. What do you think?
Yeah, of some sort. Looks great.
Maybe they added zip on the photocopy, or like,
It's
you know,
possible.
I never thought about that. Adding zip to like pencil drawings and ink, they're darkening up the shadow areas. It's got a neat look to it.
It really does. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen pencil drawings where people go in with like dry brush and sort of black in things, but these look like leveled pencils.
Balrog became vegan. Yeah, I guess this is when they're early development, so they're changing names around, trying to figure out what they're doing. And,
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
But if you go up, I love the pose of the he's green, the green guy. I always forget his name.
Right here.
Look at that pose, man.
Yeah.
Take the hair off and flatten the teeth, and that's like a great Hulk picture.
Yeah. Boy. Nice, thick, meaty planes on the muscles.
David Williams wanted to know if you could pan closer to the line work.
Yeah.
Can you zoom into some of this?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. It looks like pencil.
It looks like pencil to me.
Yeah, just darkened, but it could be like a pen.
I don't think so. I personally don't. It could be a combination. They could be going in and doing a little bit of the sort of work with a pen and then leaving some of it in pencil. This is way too sketchy to be, I think, a pen, though.
Well, Farben says they all used photocopies, common technique. So, yeah, I mean, I love the look of it when you photocopy like pencils and make them black, and then it just has a chunky quality to it.
Yeah. Now, could you do that digitally? Like, what would be the process to do that same idea digitally? Just level the pencils?
I guess I don't. When I see it in books, it's like they leave the gray in there, and I think what's making this work is that they're doing
real photocopy.
Well, they're also making the blacks black. Like see that large black area is dark, whereas like if you see it in America a lot, when it was kind of in its heyday, or when you see Joe Mad, you can still see the pencil. It's all gray, the black set. So there's not a whole lot of weight to it. This has a lot of weight to it.
This is now my favorite page that we've looked at.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite out of the bunch so far.
This page is money, yo. It really is great, though.
It's really fun.
This is like what I aspire to be able to do. Is like, it's like confident, it's solid, it's spontaneous, it's got like a cool factor, it's got it all.
Max Santiago's, did you guys ever play Street Fighter? Yeah,
I did.
A little bit.
I was in music at that point. I was in music. Nothing really was in my life.
Oh man, here's some more of it. Gosh, this is great.
I remember this spread now from the book, like the pages. There might be a few more too, actually.
I mean, could you do a book like that? Like I would buy a book like this in a hot second, if it was like the story pages all had this kind of quality. But if it feels like if I tried this, people would think it was unfinished. It's like, how do you do this in a way that it doesn't look like you're skipping steps? And this is the look that you're intending to go for,
Rough art is very misunderstood, especially in the United States. It's not appreciated, and it generally gets sloughed off as it's like not refined. Right.
Yeah.
Artists like it. Fans want the twinkle, Look at this, man. This is so freaking good.
Yeah,
dude,
that's great.
God, look at this.
I love the fist there, the hand. It's like it's coming out, but then he's got some like kind of knuckles, like knuckling it out.
You like the arm? It's like kind of like got a Frazetta vibe to it or something.
This is what you want to do when you're like referencing your fist or trying to draw a fist. This is boring. This is cool, like you want to just like vary it up and like try to do something like interesting with it,
Oh, look, he's got a bird on his hand.
Yeah, Cammy. Yeah, she was fun. I liked her bit in the animation where she's like brainwashed or something, but she goes to kill this like senator or something, but she
Yeah.
does this wild move where she grabs his lapels and like jumps up and then like twists and like breaks his neck, I guess, and then comes down. Such a cool looking move.
I can't get over how kick-ass these last two, this page and the page before, are. This is so good. I love it. Oh my god. I want to live in this world right now. Give me more. Let's see. What do we got next? Let's see. Come on.
And Dino
Oh,
says the long legs always impressed me. Yeah, they
yeah.
do that. You gotta love some long legs. Yeah, this is crazy, man. My gut is saying there's not enough value here. It all kind of has the same value, so it's
Sure.
stuff is bleeding. Like if you got a little darker with around the edges, maybe, but
We'll move past this one quick. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
We got so much art to look at. If it's not a winner, then it's a loser. No.
Yeah, I got breakfast to eat too.
Oh, okay.
No, this looks this is cool. I like the angle.
Yeah, I like parts of this. I'm not crazy about like her the faces so much, but the pieces overall I like.
I like the rock, how they rendered that, the floor pattern or whatever, and
nice.
the angle.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah. Next.
Oh, okay. These are more bangus. These are so good.
Yeah, I love these little
sketches. See what the it's crazy, like so do you think, does he clean up his own art? I mean, I guess he would, or someone else I guess possibly could, but I wonder if they like, I'm assuming these pieces started out looking similar to the ones that we just looked at, right?
Yeah, he probably, I mean, that's a good question. He could have, somebody else could do that. That is fairly typical, but he probably just light boxes it, cleans it up, does a marker rendering. Yeah. And honestly, knowing how fast those guys work, he probably did like several a day or more.
So this is credited as 1995 in this book. So what's interesting is, I mean, honestly, I probably bought this book in like 96.
Oh, okay.
So this is like, man, that was some fresh stuff at that point. Because I would say I got the book in between 95 and 97.
This does scream 90s. I mean, everything was extreme. It was extreme. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Street Fighter Extreme. I love this. It's like, what is this? A samurai warrior mixed with a football.
I know.
It's really interesting.
It's like he's on the Denver Broncos or something. He's one of Elway's guys.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. This guy's, I love his boots. And he's got skinny jeans.
Yeah, I love those arms. Those beefy.
Yeah.
I like how they're just defined by the shadow. There's not a lot of line work there.
This is making me rethink everything, Kelsey. Why? Actually, it's funny, is I was gonna say this to my Patreon, but sometimes when you're in the middle of working on stuff, looking at other art can kind of mess you up, where it's like you start going like, everything I'm doing is shit. I should be doing this.
Well, I really was looking forward to looking at this because I'm designing stuff for my book, and I want to have this wild creativity that they have, where it just seems like they have no rules, when they're designing. They just like, whatever. He's got a kitchen sink stuck to his back. Whatever. Let's try it.
Right.
Look at this great angle.
With I like the strap, how it's like pulled off of the breast a little bit. That's like a nice little subtlety.
I love this like white light. I'm dying to like try some of that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Birdie. This guy's cool, man. I like this character.
Look at this. The chains. Are those giant chains or are those in the foreground? Well, look at the bird size. Those must be giant chains.
It's so cool.
This guy's got a hair to kill all hair. I mean, look at his mustache.
It looks like a knife to me, like a short blade of some sort.
But check out his mustache too. It goes to like the sideburns. I wonder if I could pull that off.
That might be the look when we have that guest that I was telling you about.
Yeah, right. That'd be a good one.
Dude, that's gonna be so fun. Look at that. This is a crazy looking character. What is this?
Head. This is the same guy though. The Bingus.
Bangus, yeah.
He's doing his style is like getting a little more clean and like bubbly. In
Yeah.
these, like I wonder how much time is passing, or there's a refinement here. I mean,
Right. Yeah, well, I'll have to check the dates. I'm gonna grab these books out of my storage. I've got them in my storage, but I'm gonna bring them in today. They're gonna be in my rotation. So
it just looks like he has a better handle on lighting, on anatomy. Look at the girl behind the
right here. This one.
yeah, she's real cute. Good
Yeah.
not good posture, but fun posture. I like the hair, the wisp of
This is really trippy. So she's got a huge suntan. Like, do you see? Like, her top is like a tube top, but she's been sunburnt on her skin. But then this is all like the pure flesh color. It's very.
I think that's just the intense light, and the round her neck there is the shadow from her hat.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like she's in like really intense lighting. But this guy seems like he has no pants underneath that loincloth. A little concerned.
You know, well, this is sort of the football player guy too. He's got like his pads on underneath his like samurai gear.
So he's probably got one of those loincloths.
His name is Sodom. His name is Sodom.
Whoa! See, there you go. It all fits together.
Oh my god, that's too funny. What is going on?
Shuriken. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a nice little drawing though. This right here is cool.
Ah, that is so fun. That's like that dry brush picture I showed earlier, but I love that little splotch of color. Just
yeah. God, man, these guys are good.
That loose dry brush stuff, man. I really dig that. Oh, that's actually fun. I like that piece.
I've seen this ripped off in American comics before. This in particular here a couple of times.
It's a good pose.
Yeah. Yeah, I can think of a couple of artists that have used this.
I want to see a scene where somebody grabs that hair and just cuts it off. It's like, this is get rid of this. Yeah, I love that. All the flowy ponytail stuff.
Very
red. 90s.
Very red.
Great. So here's a little trick about red. Red is always tricky when you're like wanting to have red in lighting. The secret is to make that absolute pure red the brightest red. Don't try to add white to it because then it turns pink.
Oh, okay.
So just focus on your shadows being more cool and purple and let that red pop.
Oh, look at this. This guy's holding like another dude by the head.
Whoa. And what is he doing? I don't want to know.
Well, what's trippy is like I get that it's foreshortening. This character that's on the ground looks very small, though. Regardless, like it doesn't look like like they don't look like they're the same scale.
Michael Hing says Ranzerox. That's the guy that drew that is the artist I was trying to think of earlier with the way that the marker or the paint style kind of. What is that guy's name? The guy does Ranzerox.
Oh man,
I used to call it Ranzero.
Oh. Is he like a European artist?
Ranzerox. Yeah, he's got a very particular name.
Yeah. I know. I've asked about that guy in videos before because I always like forget who it is. He's got some very interesting stuff. He's kind of like a Corbin.
Liberator.
Oh yeah.
David's on top of things. Yeah, Liberator.
This character is such a trippy. He's got a heart it looks like a heart on his head.
Oh, I thought that was like the lighting. Like the.
Could be. It looks like a heart
tattoo. It does. This guy, he's cracking me up. What is with that hair, man?
Oh, when his hair is in a different position now. It's not the knife blade thing.
He kind of looks like a pineapple.
Right. Oh man. Wow, this is really fun.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I feel like the printing here is not doing the art service justice because I feel like it's really blown out. And if we saw the original or better printing, there's a lot more subtlety we're not seeing.
Well, you figure this is a scan of the book too, so we're doing the best we can.
Oh, so he's Italian. Tenino Liberatore, says Michael Hing.
Is Liberatore, is he still alive?
I think so. I think some of these guys, I'm kind of shocked at how young they are. When I see them, I'm like, oh, I
Oh,
thought that dude was like ancient, and he's like,
right,
looks like he's probably in his early 50s.
right. Some
Um,
some
yeah,
people age well. It's funny because yeah, it's a shame the ones that we've lost. Like I always hope that one day I could maybe meet Mobius. It would have been cool.
yeah, it would have been great.
Frazetta too. It's just
But
kind of a
like,
bump.
who's Pratt? Hugo Pratt is still kicking, isn't he? Or
Uh,
no, is he gone?
that I'm not sure.
I think he might be gone too. I don't know. We're all gone. Maybe we'll get to talk to him in heaven.
Right.
See, this looks like this has a marker quality to me. That could be mixed media. See the
Yeah.
background.
It looks like marker. I could see that.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
marker and colored pencil. This looks
yeah,
like
that color pencil watercolory thing that they, that one that
yeah.
where you can color pencil it and then watercolor it.
Yeah, it's interesting. They and this paper has that texture too. I can still see that weird like the weave of the paper in the underdrawing.
I tell you, I'm leaning towards rough printing or bad scanning because some of this stuff
Yeah.
lacks subtlety, and like I don't know, I'm getting vibes, questionable vibes.
Well, you figure this book was printed a long time ago. I mean, printing has definitely gotten better. They're pretty good at this foreshortening with the foot, like the 1 foot away. I've noticed that with even the standing poses, they do this pretty nice with the feet kind of turned at angles.
That's tricky to do. I actually I have a foot technique, and that's not what what it sounds like. But I I have I saw Jim Lee do it once where he drew the like the sole of the foot on the ground plane, and then he just kind of connected the foot to the rest of the body, and that tremendously helped me out getting the feet on the right angle of the floor plane. So
yeah, yep, that's actually a pretty cool technique. I like
wow, look at that. That could be like an 80s martial art movie poster. Enter the fist.
Yeah, I know. It looks like every movie poster from like 1984.
Cool. David says Prisma marker. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Definitely has qualities of that.
Look at this dude's feet. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Oh my god, that's from years and years and years of walking barefoot across the rocks.
Look at that. That is awesome. They
look so similar to my feet. Big giant hobbit feet.
I have little square feet too. It's funny. my feet are more like they look like Legos. Oh, look at that. That's actually pretty nice.
Oh yeah. God, I remember there's a story about what is it, Beasley drawing the back of the arm one time, and everybody thought he was drawing like a guy's junk, but that's actually how the back of the arm looks.
Oh, right.
I love this stuff. A little more fun, cartoony, sexy.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. I like this stuff.
This almost has a little bit of a Shiro kind of vibe. Like,
yeah. The guy in the sand, but he's not worried.
It's got a little bit of a Mad Magazine sort of aesthetic.
Wait, David says 4 toes? What is that?
Oh, you only have 4 toes?
That one guy, the foot you were looking at.
I didn't even count.
I didn't either.
Do you remember, like, I don't know what this pose with this guy with his arms up made me think of it. Do you remember back in the old days when like, as a comic book artist, you'd have muscle magazines, like bodybuilder magazines for like, you're like, if I need to learn like buff anatomy, I'll have my muscle mags.
Yeah, I had some of that. And then eventually I got wrestling mags because you'd get those great shots of them jumping through the air.
Yeah. It's just so funny because it's like nowadays you just go online and like go like I need like bicep reference or whatever.
Yeah, now they have like 3D models and you can move them in any direction, and I could see how that body looks in certain directions, and Yeah,
I actually, you were talking about fist position. Look at this. This is an exemplary.
that's actually good. Yeah,
That's a
you're
tough
looking
tough
at it from
rifle.
below.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually good. Yeah,
Nowadays,
this right here, how this finger folds in, like that's always tripping me up, and I'm trying to figure that
here,
stuff out
this is what
constantly.
people would do now if they had to draw this. They would go copy, paste, transform, rotate, and then that would be this hand. And that's what I look for this. If you
Stop
do
giving
this,
away my secrets, Rich.
if you do this in your art, I see it. I know what you're up to. Stop being lazy.
It's so funny because I do that kind of stuff a lot, and I challenge people. Go ahead, try to figure out where I do
Don't challenge me. I'll find it. I look, like I said, I look for it, dude. I get down to pixels. I'll start looking at pixels, and I'll go, that. Well, you saw you know the thing I caught with that other artist.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be funny.
The cape that shall not be mentioned.
I wonder if he'd get a laugh at that if we ever brought that up.
I'll tell him. I'll tell him.
He's a good guy.
I bet no one's ever pointed it out to him that they spotted it.
It'd be embarrassing for a second, but you'd have to have a good laugh. Come on.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
I love this. This is interesting. Now, I don't know if this is a theme in like Japanese culture, but there's this really famous like fine artist that does the smiling men faces.
Oh,
yeah. And he's got a few pieces with like 500 people on like one bicycle. So I don't know where that originated from, that idea, but this is a nice little drawing.
I love that style. You know, it's so just fun and bouncy. Yeah. The faces. Look at that chicken. I love it.
Would you clone her too, Kelsey? Would you clone this over here?
Yes. No.
Actually, it's funny because it's like now I'm looking at it going like, oh no, he turned the head on this one. It's not the same. This is great.
Oh yeah, that's all different. And I'm actually way too lazy for that kind of stuff because it takes time to like cut it out, and it's like I just redraw
right.
it.
Oh, I didn't remember.
Look at that.
This is like very like
pretty realistic. Yeah.
I like the shoes right here. Is my favorite part of that painting. Is this right here?
Yeah.
That to me, that's the painting. That's all I want to see is just this. This is the piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the temptation to go crazy on some of that, like the wood texture and the rock texture, but it's holding back is really like secret to some of that stuff. Using it just right.
So who are the most badass fighters in this group? Like who's the top tier characters? The like
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li.
Well, like Chun-Li, Ken, right? The main guy with the white kimono or the white gi. These
are nice.
I know a lot of people like the green guy, which I cannot remember his damn name. What is chat? Which one was y'all's favorite?
I like the girl with the jean shorts.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
The one she wears it's like she's barely dressed. She's got like like jeans and like a cop hat on or something.
Yeah, we're getting some Vega's good tier, Akuma, Saigot, lots of Saigot. Apparently he was really fun. Blanca, that's the green one. Zangief in Boston. So everybody's got their favorite. They probably each have, I'm sure they test these extensively so that no one is extremely overpowered over the other. But
so when I was a kid, on one of my game systems, I had a game called Eternal Champions that was kind of a ripoff of Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, but it had characters that were kind of more in this line. Like Mortal Kombat to me was always a little more realistic. But did anyone play Eternal Champions on like Sega Genesis? I think it was a pretty fun game.
I went through a phase where I played like early Nintendo and then the first Nintendo, and then my cousins and them had the next Nintendos. But I was out of gaming up until PlayStation 3, I think, when or PlayStation 2, whenever Grand Theft Auto 3 came out.
Right.
And I was working on Jimmy Neutron, and I went to a friend's house and they were playing it. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, games have changed. So I went out and bought it immediately.
Yeah. My daughter's been playing Grand Theft Auto.
I love that. I'm really looking forward to another one. They need to come out with a new one.
That's funny. But
I
these are
love
great.
this stuff. Oh my god, this is now we're getting into the
Look
sweet
at these
spot for
designs.
me.
So Alan M at Wildstorm was a huge fan of whoever this artist is right here. I don't know if this is the Bangus, if this is
Yeah,
Bangus's.
is this Bangus here too? Yeah, this particular.
Alan M kind of drew just like this too. It was funny, the little tiny heads and the sort of exaggerated feet and stuff like that.
I just love I love the way that they do the muscles where you could see they're all there, but you don't have to outline every one of them. Yeah, the Drez says Bingus
Yeah.
also. So
So
he obviously experiments with a lot of different techniques, but in a very similar way. So it has like the Bingus look, but the
this
rendering is a little different here and there.
this character right here, it's really interesting. Like literally his spine is the only thing connecting his upper body to his like hips. Do you see that? That's funny.
Yeah. Can you imagine being the animator getting that going, oh my god, what am I supposed to do with
Well,
that?
even the arms too, like it's like he there is the tricep in the back, but yeah, it's interesting anatomy. Very cool though. I like it. And the fingers are so rubbery. It's funny because he gives them pretty hard shapes for most of the anatomy, but then the fingers look like they're literally made of like rubber.
X Kid Z says my favorite Capcom artist is Kinu Nishimura, especially her sci-fi or Street Fighter 3 stuff. So try to point that out when we get there. I'm not sure.
Look at this guy.
Who the names are.
Want to go grab food really quick? We can take like a 2 or 3 minute break. Do you want to grab food for yourself real fast?
Well, I do need another cup of coffee. Let me do that real quick.
Go grab it. I'll kind of watch the chat for a second.
Oh yeah, you got another super chat there.
So. Okay, yeah. So love production work. If you ever get a chance, check out Bill Stout's storyboards for a Godzilla film that was supposed to come out in the 80s. Bill Stout is very, very good. I always check out his booth at Comic-Con. He's excellent. So Sasquatch, yeah, this character is very, very cool. That's really, really nice. And this again looks like it's colored over the pencils to me a little bit. Capcom characters are so clean and simple. Thanks for the super fun videos. Yeah, no worries. It was I actually shot a couple of videos earlier in the week that I ended up kind of just like never uploading, but I was trying to get a video together on Tuesday and Wednesday. I shot Ghost in the Shell, like the original Ghost in the Shell manga, but I don't know, it never seemed to work out as nice as I wanted it to, so I just sort of put it on the back burner. So Sasquatch is the strongest character in the game. Is that true? I know, I'm babysitting. Victor was your favorite. Oh, yeah, nice. Yeah. I really like the colors on this stuff, too, actually. This is really, really good. But you could see with these little spot illustrations, like I was saying, like for people that really want to kind of create some heat on Instagram, you can do something pretty dynamic here. Let's just create like a little square template for a second. I'll show you what I mean. Because the thing is, you figure we've got this little tiny box that is what we get a show on Instagram as an example. Let me grab one of these. So say like this character right here. We'll see what we got. Let me go to this book is huge. Holy cow, man, we're not even like barely any way through it. I thought we would be able to look at way more art. All right, so let's see. But yeah, one thing that always frustrates me for artists that are trying to get more followers is how do you create something dynamic for Instagram? So I'm going to just drop this in here first. I want to just get as much of it as I can going. Oh, seriously? Come on. Well, let me upscale this for a second. Image size. It must have been 72 DPI. Image size. Go 600. Yeah, I think this will work. But you want to be real conscious of like what you actually upload in terms of like its impact, because you figure people are scrolling fast. And the other thing that I always recommend to people is you really, really want to pay attention to what else is on your page, because if they see a thumbnail that they like of your stuff and they go to your Instagram like feed and it's a bunch of random stuff, you're not doing yourself any favors to get a new subscriber. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a voice that's clear for now. I'm just catching up with the chat really fast. You're in the studio recording drums today. Don't you have Easy Drummer? No, I'm just kidding. Drummers hate Easy Drummer and probably Superior Drummer, because real drums are best. So here, let's go. We'll go to the next page. We'll continue our journey. Kelsey will be back in a sec. Oh man, this is nice. Yeah, these are really, really cool. I have no idea. I'm assuming these are pencil drawings that maybe were photocopied and then colored. This background is definitely you know the colored paper that you can get. I think it's Bristol, actually, like Bristol paper or Fabriano maybe. This is just a stat behind it. So they actually just took a photo of this texture and kind of dropped it behind these. But these look like pencil drawings that maybe were photocopied and then colored. But it actually is a cool look. Wait, talk more about optimizing Instagram posts. I mean, it is an important thing because look, if you don't have a big following and you're trying to build a big following online, you know how difficult it is. But yeah, I always recommend to people, do look, if especially if you have less than a few thousand followers, you really have to focus 100% on your art and try to make them as eye-catching as possible, and some kind of a theme. I always recommend a theme, not necessarily you have to do the same character, but you figure if you catch them with one image, somehow they see an image that you've posted. If they go to your Instagram feed and it doesn't have that same charm that one piece that they liked did, they're probably not going to follow you, and you don't want to lose people. A good example that I can give of someone who's very successful on Instagram, he is a great artist though too, is Miles Johnson. Miles Johnson has a very, very distinct penciled shaded look to his work. And if you ever catch a glimpse of Miles's work, you recognize it right away. It's very identifiable to him, the themes and stuff like that. So he's an extreme example because one, he's really, really good, and two, he's got nearly 1 million subscribers on Instagram. But he is that good. But his stuff is very recognizable, and you need that with your work if you can do it. These are great, man. These poses are so badass. This almost reminds me a little bit of like a Nirasawa design. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, like Nero Works. Very, very cool. I'm gonna catch up with the chat really quick. Cheap Shot Artists. Yeah, it looks like colored pencils. Guilty Gear. I think I have the Guilty Gear book, actually. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, man, these are so good. Damn. This Pharaoh character is so kick-ass. This looks like a Jack Kirby design in some ways.
Oh, you're still here? Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I was just thinking how this was such an influential book when it came out for comic people here in the States. It would be interesting to look at because there's some very specific benchmark arts that really influence comics. You guys like Sid Mead, the Capcom books, Frazetta, of course. There's just some very key flavors out there that inspired our community probably more than anything. Yeah. And everybody knows them,
Or you meet someone like us who will share it with like a younger generation. And that is exactly what happened to me. When I got to Wildstorm, I didn't know this stuff. I have to thank my friends like Jason Johnson, Ed Brazell, Michael Lopez, Alan M. Those interns that were at Wildstorm, JJ Kirby, all those guys turned me on to all this stuff. They're like, have you ever seen this? This looks like a Nirasawa design also. Do you know Nero Works?
Oh
N-I-R-A.
yeah.
This
Hmm.
these have a little bit of Nira sort
It
of
must
vibe.
be the rendering technique that sketchy,
He does
pencil.
a lot of kind of amphibian sort of monsters too.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They're pretty wild designs. This is great. I was saying this kind of has the Jack Kirby vibe.
Yeah, it does. Um, there's another. Oh man, I can't remember. There's another game that has real bloopy characters like this. I think it's a ripoff of this game. Power Pack, Power something. I don't know.
Mhm.
But I love that kind of bloopy, balloon quality of it. I love it. Very
So
organic, pleasing to
people
the
were
eye.
people were saying that this character is the most powerful character in the game.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
It looks
That's
like not Sasquatch, but Yeti.
I think his
Is
name
that
is
a?
Sasquatch.
Oh, okay. Power Stone, comic book Bob said, or the Dres also. Everybody knows
Oh,
Power Stone.
this is
Yeah,
great.
I love this. Or it's
I
such a
love the
great.
book. He's so
So here's
funny.
a question. This is good because I love.
Oh,
Like
this guy's so
I come from a very like designy, like the people that influenced me the most at the time when I in my formidable times were very graphic, hard edge, stealth freeze. So I have a level of that kind of stuff to me. But I look at this and go, this seems more pleasing to the eye somehow. It's I don't organic. It's maybe easier to access. Like it has the like Disney is very soft.
Well, here's a funny example, and you'll know exactly who the artist. You might actually know him personally, Dusty Abel. So Dusty Abel was
Yeah.
one of those guys that was really really good, but his stuff was pretty angular, and I think that it fit in sort of a genre that maybe wasn't as wide reaching.
Mm. Dusty's amazing. He's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
Mm.
I never met.
Good
I don't.
guy too.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't think I've ever met him in person. I was a really huge fan of his Legends of the Dark Knight issues.
Mm-hmm. No,
I,
he's a sweetheart. He's very, very, very cool guy.
he
Mm-hmm.
looks like Thor, I've heard.
Mm-hmm. He does. Seeing it's so funny seeing him and Panosian next to each other because it's like Thor and Conan in the modern world.
Oh, right. This kind of has a Bill Sienkiewicz vibe. What's going on here?
Mm. Oh, I don't know. I like it though.
This looks like
What,
an
oil?
Yeah, it looks like oil painting.
Or pastel, maybe? I don't know.
It's very what's that called? The application of paint.
Oh gosh, what is that? Stipple, not stipple, but you're talking about
It's impasto.
Oh, okay. Fresco?
The application, like that real dimpled paint look. I think that's what they call it.
Pointillism? Yeah.
Yeah, right. This is nice. And again, you can see the canvas on this for sure.
Yeah.
Well, look at the colors up here. This is kind of like Kelsey land.
Yeah, I'm the king of purples and stuff.
Yeah, this is like I picture some like a lighting thing that you would almost do. This is pretty nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so clean though, but I do like it. I don't know.
So here's my criticism of this piece. Ready? I'm gonna be a savage. The perspective is very, very interesting, but it's so inconsistent. Oh my God, it's driving me crazy. So he's got this beautiful 3-point perspective that in a way is slightly curvilinear too. It's actually sort of warping a bit. And then he throws her at literally like horizontal and vertical, like, that's killing me. This just kills the piece. And this stuff, and this is all very flat too. Very, very flat. But man, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. But it just leads me to believe, based on this and then this is how the artist really thinks, and this is what he referenced from something else. Because you don't start with this and end up with this down here. Those two languages don't coexist. I think
the composition is a little off too. Not like a lot of the lines are pointing in really weird places where they should really be focusing you to them down there.
The moon is very flat too.
Doesn't mean it's bad, but
No.
I think these guys come in raw and then they get like the trial by fire. They just you got to produce and then they get good real quick.
So this is a Bengus painting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's nice. I like this little character right here is great.
Yeah, there's it's kind of hard to tell what's going on in that, but like I'm of two schools of thought. On one hand, I want things to be clearly readable for people that, have never seen this before. They can easily look at it and go, that's what this is.
Yeah.
But then there's another part of me, I guess, for the more experienced reader of this kind of stuff. I love looking at this and like finding things that, like the more you look at it, the more new things you see. That's kind of neat. That looks cool.
See, that was my thing is I felt like that he was losing touch with the value range, and with pure white and black and another version of color on this piece would be a knockout. I think this would be absolutely stunning. But the problem is the value range of the original painting, it really sits in kind of like a certain area.
Dale A says, next, Rich points out the flaws in the Sistine Chapel.
I will. Can't escape me. The arcane eye of Rich. Sadly, I wish I could draw as good as I can spot the stuff, because that's the problem is the two skills don't match up.
Well, they say, those who can't do, teach.
Right.
No,
I know.
I love this stuff. Yeah. I love the all of these, the style and everything. I love it all. This is some of my favorite.
So cool. I love the little British flag patch on his thigh. It's so funny.
Yeah, he's kind of punk. Like he reminds me of like British punk.
Yeah. It's funny that his elbow and forearms are like kind of pink.
Oh, look, he started getting the ribs too. Instead of like just the spine thing, he's got these little ribs that poke out.
You can see him there? I don't see it.
Yeah, you see the little...
Well, those are his fingers.
No, up.
Oh,
up.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's crazy that you could catch that on the camera, because I'm looking on the screen. It's even bigger for me. Yeah, it was subtle. Man, these are such nice drawings. Oh, they're so good.
I love the poses, the scale of stuff. I love the roundness of it. I love the girl one down here, this like cat girl, the way her pose and everything. Yeah.
It's cute.
I don't know who that is. Who's the cat girl? Anybody know? I don't know the names of any of these. Like I didn't play the games, but I know there's a great animation show, I think, associated with this. I never watched it though.
She's colored really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Good expression.
So talented. Or whatever.
Eating cheese and crackers.
Yeah,
this is what I used to do. I used to eat cheese and crackers and look at comic art.
What crackers, what cheese, Kelsey? Tell us.
It's this great little what do you call it? Cracker Barrel.
Oh, okay, Cracker Barrel.
Bites. It comes with like 2 different kinds of cheeses and
already on it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this guy's armor, the face on his chest. That's great. What a cool design that is.
I think that's the first time that's happened, because like of course Imaishi got it really popularized when he made the Gurren Lagann, where all the robots had faces on the chest, and it became like huge after that. But look at this. I mean, this is 20-30 years before that.
Yeah. And this is another kind of looks like a Nirasawa design.
Docks the cheese.
Character, I keep focusing on that, but this is cool. This is that Pharaoh guy.
I like how he's trying to kick his way out, but he got stuck.
Well, this is interesting. This almost looks like a face right here, like a Transformer face. Am I tripping? What is that?
No, it's a sarcophagus. Yeah, it's like a little.
Yeah.
Some of those have the faces of the pharaohs and stuff.
Oh, right. He's kicking his.
Yeah.
See, I see.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. This is what I was talking about, where I'm like, you look at it initially and go, cool, and then you start trying to figure it out, and it's like an exploration. It like almost makes you want to, discover new things.
Yeah, he's like in a tomb and he's breaking out of it. I didn't realize what was going on.
I want to know where it's like the TARDIS. I mean, look at his hand.
Yeah,
it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Oh, right. This is cool. There's
Calbretto again.
This is interesting. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. It looks like a fish fish flame.
No, that's that guy with the long horns, and he's like leaning
Oh,
over him.
I see it now.
He's all
Wow.
on fire.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was hard to see.
He got like a butterfly or something on his chest. I don't remember his design now.
Yeah, man, good eye. You're on this. I'm like, I'm drifting.
I'm used to looking at this stuff. I've seen it for a while.
It looks like Joe Mad, the 6 or 7 issue with the little kids when they're with the bird and stuff like that.
It's funny is I didn't know he was this inspired by Darkstalkers. I just thought it was Capcom in general. But then you look at this stuff and you're like, oh yeah, I can the hands, the faces, the.
Yeah. Oh, I love this character. She's one of my favorites. I've always thought that this was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be a pain in the ass to draw in a comic book, though. Could you imagine trying to move her around?
Yeah, they do it. That's Miss Marvel, right? Makes her hands all big.
Oh, does it? I don't know. Is Miss Marvel's hands get big? I have no idea.
I think that's her power, which is like terrifying for a young girl, I'm sure.
Right.
Big giant. What's your power? Big giant hands.
Oh, look at the little Sasquatches.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, okay. It's just the one arm, or I guess it's part of her custom.
It's sleeves. Okay,
that's interesting.
It's so strange, but that's what I'm talking about. There's no rules, man. They're just like whatever. Does it look cool? Yeah. Okay, then. So that is that the final evolution of that black guy with the beard and the pineapple hair?
Oh, this right here.
Now he's like a what is it? Blue guy.
No,
that was a different game.
Yeah, okay. Look at this guy. He's like, is this the dude that we were just looking at? Fire? Oh, okay.
He's naked.
Yeah, it's big.
I don't know if I like that rendering. He looks hairy.
I think that's the point, though, right?
Oh, is he supposed to be hairy? Oh, okay.
I kind of think so. I don't know.
Oh, if I know.
This is cool. I like this. Oh, and that's the big face armor thing.
I like the rendering in the background. You know, I love when you look at the black and you can see like an indication that it was cross-hatched to be full black, you know, but you don't have to do that. You could just black most of it in and then just do little spots of that cross-hatching so it kind of looks like it.
We've talked about this with Arthur Adams. You go down this rabbit hole, your fans are going to expect it, and you're going to be spending a third of your life just filling in black backgrounds with like patch.
Well, that's why you do it in just patches, so it kind of looks like you did it. But
yeah. You just want to give them a taste of it, not too much.
Look at that pose. I love that like extreme pose.
Yeah.
And his what is his other arm behind him, or does he have two arms on each side? What the hell?
It looks. Oh,
I see. He's doing this.
He's bringing a background from his backside.
I don't know if my brain would allow me to get away with that, but it looks.
It comes out at a weird spot though, because it looks like it's coming out from. Oh no! It's actually coming from the front. I thought it was coming from behind him.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, it's coming from in front or underneath this arm, but it comes from here across.
That's good glute work though. Look at that.
His butt, that is nice. That is really good.
That's something I'm still trying to figure out how that leg muscle connects into that, which connects into the love handle things and the
I actually, when I was talking about all this stuff,
I would love that.
Working on and learning, I actually was reading the Bridgman book, which I had never really done before, and I was working from the Michael Hampton drawing books. I'm right here. I'll show you real quick. Or can you see on the camera? Michael Hampton figure drawing, design, and invention. These are really good. I have both of them. But yeah, so I've been actually reading my anatomy books, which I never used to do.
Yeah, I never read any book. I should. I'm trying.
Yeah,
I really should. Wait, somebody had something good to say. Let me see if I can find it. It went by quick.
This is cool.
Talking about Joe Mad Calbretto.
Oh, okay.
I lost it. Calbretto was based on something. Oh shoot. Oh, here it is. Comic Book Bob says Joe based Calibretto off of Bangus's Hutzel and Giant Robo. But Giant Robo's awesome. I love Giant Robo. Yeah, that's the guy. That's the punk guy, but he looks more normal.
Yeah, he's like, he hasn't fully transformed into his alternates. It's funny, he's sitting on like a creature. It's kind of cool.
I love this. This is what I want my book to look like, where it's like this mishmash of just everything, and you just have to accept it. You know, it's like,
well, look, the concept for your book is a very, very fun platform to go that route. And the design,
just do whatever.
The designs that you have right now, they're very fun looking. You know, you're heading the right direction for sure.
Oh, yeah, cool. Because I want Capcom to go, yeah, let's make a game of that.
Yeah, right. It's funny that you said that, because as I was working on the Blaster Kid designs and stuff like that, I was like, would this make a good Sideshow statue or a Prime 1 statue?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, no, like,
I know. I love that stuff. So like
I'm definitely not, I'm not chasing Hollywood or chasing video games, but if it happens, hell, that'd be a lot of fun. Why not? I don't care.
Yeah. Sasquatch is cool. He's got like flesh parts. I didn't realize that.
Well, he's human after all.
Yeah, right. Now, should we hop to the second book and see where this all advances? Okay, so here, let me do this. I'm going to shut these real quick, and then we'll get to book 2.
Oh, man, we were getting into sketches and stuff. Holy moly. Yeah, look at all that.
Oh, there were so many pages left.
Good Lord.
Yeah, the book is huge.
Yeah, you don't want to like, you should definitely go buy this. This is a book that you might be able to find used cheap, but this is one you got to have in your files, I think. Yeah, it's a constant inspiration. This is the one I had. Okay. I remember the first one, but this is the one I actually owned because I remember that cover.
This one has Resident Evil art in it, and maybe Devil May Cry too. I think.
I think it has the Mega Man stuff I was talking about too. Isn't that in this?
Could be. Okay, so we'll start with the cover.
Did they even do Mega Man? I could be thinking of a whole other thing.
So this is Capcom design.
They did do it. There he is, Rockman. I love this cut. Now, who is the artist of this? Because this guy was very influential in me too. You can still see this guy's stuff in my work today. It's funny because I'm looking at it now, going, "Gosh, I stole a lot more of this than I thought."
Yeah.
I'd love to do the flat color like this. I've been wearing people down for years. You love flat color. Flat color is your friend, because I want my stuff to have this
It
quality.
Almost has a tiny bit of like a Jeff Darrow vibe.
It's kind of pop artish, with the flat color, but yeah, it does. The Jeff Darrow, he does the Deadline stuff as well, but yeah, I love this. I love this.
It's like the dinosaur's got like a little tiny bit of extra pizzazz on him, but it's very little, minimal.
I love it.
Still pretty fun. These are great little drawings.
You could just see it moving. Oh, that's the Power Stone guy right there. So Capcom did Power Stone? Or am I seeing that right? I guess they did.
I'm just
I never read it. I mean, it's all in Japanese anyway, so I don't.
Look at this guy. He's cool.
That's Strider, I think, or Strafer. I don't know.
These two could be right. These two could be in your new book.
They look pretty close. I'm telling you, this style. It's so funny seeing this again because it really, like, I'm seeing a lot of my tricks.
Well, I mean, Okay, so
when people ask me my influences, I always have like the same pat answer, but then I forget how influential like this was, and how much I still do this stuff today. So that's really fun.
You were, to me, one of the first American manga influenced artists, because I've told you this before. Like when I bought, it was Bastard Samurai, right? Is that what?
Oh yeah.
So Bastard Samurai. When I bought that, I was really heavily into this, but there wasn't a ton of American artists that had that kind of vibe to their work. So you stood out.
There was just a few of us experimenting. Kari Andrews is another. He was before me, actually. He came in with just balls of steel. I'm going to try anything.
Well, so I'm actually friends with him. He actually said this to me one time, and it's stayed with me for all these years. He goes, I'm like Han Solo. He goes, I want the ship, the cargo, and the girl. And I was like, all right, that's I've never heard someone say that as a thing, but I'm like, I understand where you're coming from. You want it all.
He's moved on to directing movies and TV and show and stuff, but I'm very happy that he hasn't completely neglected comics. He's come back to do his own thing, which I think is smart and admirable. You know, that you could be doing movies and stuff, but you still got that love for comics. You still want to come back.
So this is where we start to really see a lot of like digital color and stuff like that coming in, which is cool.
Is that digital?
Might be.
I don't know. I love the. There's something it like realistic about it, her face and stuff, but it's still so cartoony. I just love that.
These look like digital.
Seth Fisher, Scott Collins, yeah, also very yeah. They're talking about more of what we were talking about before with the animation and the deadline style, and they were mentioning Seth Fisher and Scott Collins. Yeah, Seth both
great.
Also, the guy that does Gotham Academy, which is
he passed away, I think.
Seth Fisher did. He fell off a roof in Japan.
No, Seth Fisher passed away, but the guy that did Gotham Academy, I think, passed away, if I'm not mistaken. The penciler. I'm trying to think.
Recently?
A couple of years ago. Oh, maybe there's a new series.
Oh, I don't know. No, this guy's been doing it. Maybe it's one of them because there's a little big crew. But I met this guy at a con years and years ago, and he was doing the animation style before anybody.
Yeah, see, these are Photoshop. So I think that other piece was too, but this says Photoshop and Photoshop. They actually are listing the medium.
Yeah, you can kind of see it there. It's got a smoothness to it.
It looks good. I like. She got cash? You peeling off some cash for the dog?
I love that style. Like I love it when they were doing that style with the little bit of dry brush.
Here,
look at that giant robots.
I'm gonna open them both so that they're both.
I thought of a one that I want to do called Super Robot God Mecha or Mecha God. Super Robot Mecha God. I want to do a book like that where you just have like giant robots that almost seem godlike and fun stuff.
Okay, here we go. Let me just.
This book really got me because of when they do this stuff and they give you such a sense of depth and scale. They get the guy real up in the foreground. Now that is a double page spread.
Yeah,
oh my god. Cool. That is awesome.
Yeah,
like I want to turn a page in a comic book, and that is my double page spread.
Well, yes. you could hang this as a poster on your wall and never get sick of it. It would always have replay value. It's just so dynamic, and there's all this little stuff that you can sort of key in on later and go, "Oh man, I never even noticed that." Now I want to read Raw Crystal Planet issue 1 because I had my 2-page spread. I should have done something like this. I didn't. It never occurred to me.
Got to do it for the next issue. Just start incorporating stuff into it that you want.
Yeah.
This is great. I like this piece a lot.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we're gonna shut this, and then you like this. This was what.
Yeah. You see, it's like the same style that he was doing before. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy, right? The Bingus. He kind of looks just different.
Probably. Yeah.
But he's growing. You can see like an evolution. I don't know if this is Bingus or not, but I'm thinking. Yeah. But I love the brushy
Akiman. I thought it was Akiman. That's funny. It is.
Oh, is that who this is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These strokes look a little bit like your pick of the week. You see that?
That's why I'm responding to it. I love that brushy, thick outlet. It just looks great.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. You combine that with a little bit of the thin too. Like you see him do that with the interior of the arm and like the one above it. There's like a little bit of thin work on the arm, and then he has that bold outline,
He has it here on the deltoid, and then if you even look at the tip of this finger, there's a very, very thick, heavy line, and even on the top of this one.
Yeah. I like the Sumi style. Yeah. Yeah, I like her pose there. It's really good. It's creative. I wouldn't have thought of that. I'd be like, what kind of pose can I have her in? Putting her knee up to her forehead.
Well, I'll tell you what, on Instagram, just follow any of the yoga, like the yoga,
Yeah.
whatever. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, this makes me want to do, like, every once in a while I want to break out and do some, like, a series of you know, just something for fun. You know, it might be interesting to like do movie characters as Capcom characters. Like, what would Indiana Jones be like in Street Fighter? You know, or
oh, yeah. Oh, people would love that.
Yeah, that might be kind of fun. Oh, I love that. Great design.
Yeah, she again. She looks like she could fit into your book.
She does. It really does. That's fun. I love that guy. Look at his stance. I still try to do that where the guy's kind of like hunched back and his abs are kind of going in a little bit, like hunched over back. I love that look.
That's really good.
Yeah, great stuff.
This foot's awesome too.
Yeah, is this that guy? Who is this guy?
I think this is still Akiman.
Yeah, now I'm shifting gears. I'm really liking the Akimon here.
Yeah, well, what was interesting is because I had mentioned because a lot of people were responding to Bengus online, and I was like, Akimon was the other like kind of good one, but I think in the first book he wasn't at this level.
No, this stuff is smoking. The clothing wrinkles and the poses.
Yeah.
I love that white dude with the tattoos. He looks weird. Yeah. And the little ninja girl too is really fun.
Yep. She
needs underwear though. My God, look at that.
Oh, right. She might have that diaper thing on underneath.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I forget about that. Diaper thing.
I don't know what it's called. Sort of like what the
loin cloth maybe. Yeah.
The sumo thing.
Well, what the dude, the red and blue guy's got one.
Yeah.
If I had a body like that, that's all I'd wear too. I'd be like the naked cowboy in New York, just playing guitar.
I like this. She's like bending over. Hello. Look at this guy. He's the gentleman pugilist. I love these guys. Was that called a cummerbund? Is that what they call that thing?
Yeah, something like that.
Benedict Cumberpatch.
Yeah. I love side angles like this. I don't know why, but I love this kind of stuff. When the ground plane is right on the bottom of the panel. Yeah, and it's such a straight on view. You don't want to do it all the time because it could be so flat, but it is fun to do. What's really fun is like when you do a shot like that you've seen other artists do, but you've never done, and then you do it and you're like, there's some sense of satisfaction or like belonging somehow. Like, I'm in the club now. I've done one of those shots.
It's interesting. It's interesting seeing this because it brings the thought to my mind, and I'll see what you think and really what everyone thinks. So there's a level of detail and complexity to this piece that's very nice. I mean, I think it looks great, but there's so much more work that went into this than anything else that we've looked at so far in some ways, that like it's almost like the digital tools complicated things quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh, it did indeed, because now we're at level we're basically at painted comics now, but they're not considered painted comics, but they're no less effort, in what people do.
Yeah, my first thought I love the shot, but I just go like, man, that looks like a lot of work, like just hours and hours and hours of flatting it and separating it.
My philosophy these days is like a cover or a spot illustration is really fun to kind of go to town, but like your interior work, at least for me, I want to simplify it a little bit to make it move faster, for the reader and for me to draw. But so people were talking about Dreamwave and Udon, I think are both the same group of guys, and they are the America, and I'm North America, obviously, in Canada as well, distributor of Capcom or they're the owner of the license for Capcom here in the Americas, and they're the ones that do that primarily. But they're very good at it. I know several of their artists, and they're very, very good at what they do. But I almost wish they would do their own thing.
Yeah. So is Udon still publishing
Yeah.
Capcom stuff? Okay, they are. Okay.
They are, yeah. You could still find Street Fighter stuff. I don't know if they're done now. I don't know if they're still. I haven't looked in a minute. But I would bet they are. That's not a license you want to let go of.
Right.
That's a good one.
I haven't talked to Pat Lee in a while. Oh, this is nice. This always reminds me of
wow.
Toronto. This looks like Toronto to me.
God, it looks like Michael Lopez to me.
Right.
Yeah, the hair and the wrinkles, and he draws great women. Michael Lopez, man, I love that guy's stuff. I wish he was around more.
I know. He last I had heard, he was working on art for slot machines.
I almost did that in Austin. That's I always thought, well, that would be a nice easy kind of, not easy, but easier than drawing comics.
This is funny. This looks like the Iron Maiden album cover with a weird 3D model.
Oh my god, it does.
Dance of the Dead or whatever it's called. So bad. Poor
that
artist.
Looks so creepy to me. The digital artists. I have seen some 3D comics like that. 3D meaning 3D generated, not 3D, glasses or whatever. But I have seen some of that stuff done well. There was a French guy that was doing it with these real cute girls that he would do, I guess, 3D, but it still had a stiffness to it.
Right.
Now, who is this? This is another guy I really liked.
So this is Onimusha. I thought it was. I was going to say, I actually played this video game.
Onimusha. No, I never played this.
Very fun game. I don't know who the artist is, to be honest, but the game is Onimusha.
Yeah, I really dig the style. I wonder if that must be digital as well.
Yeah, they are. This is Photoshop. Onimusha came out after Resident Evil and was kind of like a samurai adventure, third-person sort of fighter game. It's actually very, very cool. The puzzles were kind of fun.
Blue Roman says Daigo Aquino. I don't know if I know that name. Is that who this is? Man, you guys are so on top of this stuff. It's almost like, why do we even bother showing this? You guys already know all this stuff better than we do. Yeah, it's a testament to the popularity of Capcom that so many of you guys know all this stuff.
This looks a little like John Van Fleet up here.
I love this. What they did with the sky is so interesting.
It's really like crazy. It's a very weird, like almost dry brush digital effect.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, let's see what we got, Kelsey, my man. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, see, I love this style. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I love to see all this different exploring. All just ideas. It's really, really cool.
The dress says Capcom head for life. Yeah, indeed.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, look at these.
Oh, you're in trouble. Yeah, no, I love this because you see like it had like Mignola level black, but it was painted. I just so cool looking to me.
What game is this from, guys? Girls?
That's not the same one.
It might be Onimusha. I don't recognize some of these characters though. I guess it is Onimusha. I don't recognize some of this, but maybe the monsters like in the video game were so pixely, they have a different vibe.
Well, Jeffrey D's got the straight dope on Dreamwave and Udon. Dreamwave production was started by Pat Lee and Adrian Sang. I believe Udon doesn't include Pat. Udon is a result of consolidating Devil's Due and the remaining Dreamwave artists into Udon Publishing. Fascinating. Okay.
Oh, this is so good.
They're saying that's Onimusha also.
Okay, it was Onimusha. Okay.
Yeah, I guess
these are
nice. Guys.
I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff is very detailed.
Yeah, but it's detailed in the rendering of the color, not really the
So here's something
Minor.
funny. Who do you think this type of art influenced? You should be able to pick it out. Look at it real close and see who it reminds you of. Let's see if the chat.
Deanda, maybe?
No, it's someone who. Here's the clue. They have a crowdfunded book that's about to end in a few days.
Oh, Frege?
No, Kenneth Roquefort.
Oh, no kidding. I
This
was
is.
always wondering where he got his stuff.
Well, I'm not saying that he did. I'm saying that some of this is reminiscent of his
okay, yeah.
like fractal rendering that he does.
He's amazing with that stuff. I'm very excited. I need to go buy that book actually unless I did it already.
I almost got it yesterday, but I was like, oh yeah, I've got to use a credit card, but I am going to get it. It looks really good. Joe Benitez gave him a shout out.
He's one of those guys that I remember the first time I saw him was at Velocity, I think. Was that his first time out?
I've actually done the Velocity book as a video.
It was astonishing from day one. That guy was amazing. Out of the gate, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. Yeah, I'm not a huge motion blur fan, but I don't know. It's working here. It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks good. This is a nice man. This upshot here is great. Wow. Well, this video has been incredibly inspiring to me, and it gives me a lot of ideas. So many of our videos do that. It's interesting too, because we've covered so many different styles of art, and there's always something that you can get from these.
Oh, they want to know who's Kenneth Roquefort. Yeah, look him up. He used to work for Top Cow. Yeah, done a lot of stuff at Top Cow actually, and then he moved to DC and did a whole bunch of stuff at DC.
Yeah, Kenneth. I call it Roquefort, but I think it's Rocaforte.
I call him the Rock.
Yeah,
and really he's starting to do his own book, which you could see on Indiegogo. And do you remember that?
Yeah, it's Groken. It's Groken.
Yeah, it's just sweet looking stuff. Ken is definitely one you want to check out. He's very neat.
Marilyn Manson makes an appearance in these.
That's a great caricature, though. The face is so fun.
Yeah.
Look at that face. I love it.
This is a real good pose, too.
Yeah, I love the girl's outfit, too. That's really fun.
Well, it's interesting because shortly after or when this book was being made, they were probably working on Silent Hill, to be honest. Because I'm nearly sure Silent Hill is a Capcom property. That is such a brutal game. Oh, my God.
Yeah, actually, I played one where the guy was in like his apartment and he like opens a doorway, he like cracks open a wall or something, and he's able to go to like to the other realm without ever leaving his apartment. It was a hell of a game. I really enjoyed that.
This is funny. So this is like a real famous piece of art for the you know what? This should be an
Resident Evil
NFT. this like someone should buy this as an NFT for like $200,000.
This is not even the first Resident Evil. This looks like Resident Evil 3, right? Where you got the girl that you're toting along, or no? Oh no. I'm thinking of Silent Hill.
This scene is from Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, Silent Hill is Konami. Resident Evil's Capcom, like Michael Haynes says. Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so this is Resident Evil. Yeah. The only one I played was like the third one, I think, where you got this girl that you're kind of escorting around. That was a little annoying, but it was fun. Yeah. The overall game. Yeah.
There's always some kid you got to chase down in these horror games.
Resident Evil 2, is that what it was? Okay. Yeah, it was I tried playing the first one, and it was just those still images. I think the second one was like that too, but the still images where you're running around. And then you go up here, and then suddenly you're over here again. You're like, it just drove me nuts.
Man, it's so crazy looking at all of this art. It's bringing back so many memories. It's like, man,
yeah, good times.
It's weird because I went from working in a studio for most of my career to working by myself. And the worst part about working alone for me is that I don't have all my friends around me turning me on to stuff.
Yeah.
But now you have the internet. So it's like, if you follow enough interesting stuff, you can kind of cover those bases. But man, I really do miss having a friend just go like, hey, you should check out this art book.
Well, I actually think that this time period, the 80s and 90s, are very much a pinnacle of design and content. Whereas before we were very structured, and for lack of a better word, boring. Even though it wasn't boring, I loved a lot of those books. But then you got into the 80s, the late 80s and 90s, where it seemed like people were pushing the limits of where they could go. But then little things, accuracy starts creeping in. Like, you can't have a guy shooting 20,000 bullets in a movie anymore. You got to have him reloading constantly. And so little by little, we get a little smarter, and we start losing a lot of that spontaneity and that creativity and that no holds barred attitude towards art. And that's how we get comic books at Marvel, where people are just standing around when they should be. There is no budget in comics. You should be going for broke at every turn, and I think we need to get back to some of that. Not that like 90s art was the best art. No, it's just we had no fear. You just try anything. Make it interesting. This is all great stuff, by the way. I love this style here, this flat Mignola kind of style.
Yeah, there was an interesting transition, because I remember when things started to get more writer centric, and then the aesthetic and like you said, kind of the excitement of comics started to fizzle a bit.
Well, it's just like with the computer, where we look at like these guys. These guys threw this stuff together so fast, you make your head spin. They didn't think too much about it. They did 20 drawings exploring different things. And so we look at this and we regurgitate that, and we make it cleaner and tighter because we're, in our styles. It's like when we look at what is it? The Wolverine run that Dan Green and Silvestri did. Yeah. And then when we try to do it, we're trying to recreate that, but we're refining it.
Yeah.
And then computer color comes along. We're refining it even more and more and more. And now it's just kind of stale, and it's like, no. And also books take forever to make. And I'm like, don't you understand? The stuff that we were interested in was made. I mean, Silvestri was doing that like twice a month.
Yeah.
He was cranking it out. So it was pure instinct, and that stuff is just way more entertaining, I think.
Like, look at how rendered this stuff is. I know that these are kind of design concept art sketches, but it's so detailed.
It's really good. It's just kind of boring a little bit. Yeah. There's not an edge to it.
You can't use your imagination as much.
Oh, here, I love this stuff. I was doing a Batman Legends of the Dark Knight right before it was canned, and it was right after 9/11. So the writer was a Batman kind of dealing with terrorism, but as a way to counter that, I wanted to do it in this style.
Yeah,
and they were letting me do it. But the whole series got canceled, and I didn't get to finish the book. But man, that would have been really bizarre, having a Batman comic in this really cartoony style.
JJ Kirby got me into the Mega Man stuff, and I have a really nice art of book that has all the character designs in it. It's really, really awesome. It's so good. The designs are so fun. They're so creative and they're so fun. This guy's got like a screw on his head.
Yeah, I love the design in this. I'm a huge Mega Man fan. Show us that, Kelsey. That was doing the rounds for years and years and years. I still have some of it. The only pages that survive are in a different style, but very animation driven. Anyway, I'll see if I can find it.
So fun.
You see the hand over on the left? If you go left a little bit,
okay.
See the construction of that robot hand there? That big metal hand, go up a little bit. It's like filling the frame right now in the center. Robot hand. Your cursor is on it, or was on it. Up.
Oh, is it? What color is it?
How many robot hands do you see? Jesus.
Yeah.
But see the accuracy of that, the simplicity of it, but the accuracy of it. I don't know. There's something about that where it looks cartoony, but it also looks kind of feasible in a way.
Well, all the shapes on this are incredibly well done. I mean, the cylinders and the the spheres. Man, this is really, really.
Would you have templates for all that? Would you like meticulously do that, or would you try to freehand as much as possible?
It would depend on the original size of the thing. I mean, I could definitely freehand a lot of it, but I mean, some
Yeah.
of the ellipses you might as well like template it. But you could, I
Yeah.
recommend doing partial templating, which means that hit the hardest angle for your hand and do that with the template, and then freehand the rest of it, and it gives it a little bit of a vibe. Sometimes a templated thing doesn't sit in the perspective comfortably, especially if it's like on his chest, like this curved surface. There's not really a template that's going to get the curvilinear sort of warping that's going on with it. It just isn't. It's not an accurate shape.
So X Kid Z bummed me out when the X-Men comic designs took from the X-Men 2000s movie. I was thinking that was a little backwards, and yeah, we got some agreement with that. I think that's true because they didn't have the outfits, and when you look at this stuff and you see that it's completely out there, and like that's where it's great. And look at that. Is that digital?
The drawing looks traditional, but oh my god,
coloring looks like a marker almost. I don't know.
What a fun piece! Look at the bird.
Would you buy a comic like this?
I would. It would have to be the thing
consistent, well done. Yeah.
Well, it falls into the concept art style thing where it's like there needs to be, in our opinion, we've talked about this before. There's a level of weight and graphic quality that we're accustomed to as American comic consumers, and if stuff looks too digitally painted, it seems to lose it. If it's too much like a style like this, it can lose the weight. I think if you blended a little bit of like the Joe Madureira Battle Chasers aesthetic, just a touch of that in there, this would have more power, maybe
a little more because this is designed for movement, so it can be that simplistic. I think
a little bit of black in the art always helps. It gives it a little push. But the drawings are very cool. It reminded me a little bit of Cheeks' stuff, just a tiny bit, that one piece. These are cute too.
See, I like the style. I think what it got me out of this was the use of screen tones, and also the heavy black outline with the thin outlines, which is what Adam Hughes was doing at the time too.
Yeah.
I just like that. And the bold use of color as well, the very flat, but yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, this is really nice. Oh, look at these.
Yeah, see, I love Astro Boy and all that, and this reminded me of all that stuff.
Yeah, he's got little shorts, and then he wears fancy shoes with white stuff. He's funny. He's like Richie Rich.
Yeah, he is.
He's like a little like rich kid or something. Oh, it's funny. Oh, look at this. This is great. This little drawing right here is awesome.
Yeah, Jose came in. What's up? Everybody's saying hi to Jose.
She's got a little double popsicle going.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah, there's so much going on. Look at the detail on the bike. For such a cartoony drawing to have that level of
very
accuracy is very fun.
So I noticed this in the other drawing, and I'm just going to throw it out there. This could have possibly, the under drawing could have been an early version of CAD.
Yeah, maybe.
I kind of sensed that in the other piece and didn't say it, but I think that some of these core shapes might be 3D model, early versions of that, some sort of drafting program. It looks like it to me.
Well, they were getting a little more sophisticated in the gaming, with the 3D models and stuff.
Sure.
So yeah, it could be.
Yeah, I had that sense in the other piece and just kept my mouth shut. But this looks like this doesn't.
I love it.
Same fun shape. This to me looks drawn.
Yeah, it's so fun. I love big character groups like this. I love this guy with the mustache, the detective like guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a movie like this. What was it? It's written by Otomo, Metropolis.
Oh right.
And it looks a lot like this. But yeah, so detailed.
This is an interesting juxtaposition. The background is like kind of more realistically painted, but this is it works. It's like almost like a matte painting. Oh man, this is a really cool design.
Oh yeah.
I love the like the vapor trail coming off of that is really cool. That's really clever.
Yeah, I guess I like the cartoony stuff of the Mega Man because it's really just bold shapes. It's a lot like you know, Jack Kirby in a way. You know, it's just these big bold shapes that he's using.
It's like a plane when they break the sound barrier. It's like he's kind of like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, fun.
I feel like I've gotten a good dose of art vitamins today.
Yeah.
My super fun Sunday multivitamin.
Yeah, definitely ready to dig into some stuff. God. Getting that itch. I love see all the different planes where everything is like angled, so it all looks like it's moving fast and jumping around. And yeah, what's the saying? I hear people talk about the car. You want to draw a car moving fast, draw it off the ground.
Oh yeah. It looks great.
Like it kind of jumps a hill.
So this is interesting. The because it doesn't look like the background is blurred, but yet it was painted with like almost like a blur effect. It's really, really quite nice.
Yeah, it makes it kind of soft. And it's accurate because the blurry part would be the part closest to the camera, whereas the rest of the stuff would not be blurred.
These are so cool. The Mega Man stuff will just put a smile on your face.
Always. I love it.
It's so cute. Look at this guy. His bangs in front of his head.
Let's see. Blue Roman says, Kelsey, if you love the love cartoony, you should check out Strider 2 art by Harumaru.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strider. I thought that was a little more realistic. I'll have to check that out.
I love her pose here with her hunched over and her hand going back against her thigh. That's great.
Yeah, the outfit's interesting. What is that, like a chastity belt or something? I don't know. A little metal piece. Metal cod piece.
Oh yeah, right. That is funny.
It's a little strange. I like the Lego guys, the little Lego people.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
I like too the little kind of Jack Skellington sort of accessories she's got.
Yeah, she must be a bad guy. You know, they got the skulls. Yeah. These are like Minions before Minions.
Yeah. Well, you figure a lot of the people that probably worked on those movies were fans of this. They would have been the right age, you know.
X-Kid Z says this is Hideki Ishikawa does this art, I guess. Very good.
This piece right here is beautiful.
It has that profile. I love that side view of stuff.
Wow. Bones Family. This is such a nice drawing. Oh my god, and his rendering is beautiful.
Yeah, that technique, the painting.
It's so smooth.
Can't tell what that is.
I can't either. I was thinking the same thing. I would assume it's Photoshop, maybe like just really subtle airbrush blends. Yeah.
See, I'm kind of leaning toward the marker airbrush thing I was talking about, but I don't know. I think
this is a pencil drawing that's been digitally colored.
Yeah, but that texture, like,
yeah.
I mean, I was doing digital, just starting probably when I first saw this, and that kind of texture was kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you would know for sure more.
Yeah, or at least I wasn't aware. I'm sure other people could do it. That's not, I'm not the end all be all digital art, but I just remember that kind of stuff. I didn't really get into that till way later.
Yeah,
but I love the little brush strokes in there and stuff. There's but it's so controlled. Oh, here we go. I love the little sketches down at the bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You could see their pencil with like quick color put on top.
This looks like a Kelsey shot right here.
Yeah. On the right. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Yeah, contemplative.
Yeah. Kelsey he looks like burly, but he's actually quite sensitive.
There's a lot going on in here.
Yeah. You're a complex person.
That's right. I'm simplistic in my complexity.
These flying shots are fantastic, man. I love the sweeping perspective that they create.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. Man, this was a good choice. We
Yeah.
rocked it. This is really good. I should get going pretty soon though. It's 1 o'clock. This is a long one.
Yeah, let's ask the chat here. We were talking about doing kind of a deep dive into Shiro, and I know we've talked about Shiro here before, but Shiro I think is very important to American comic book guys because he's one of the first guys that we got a lot of, but also he's interesting because he's had so much growth. Like if you look at like his first works, Black Magic, to like Appleseed, to Orion, to the Dominion, and then finally Ghost in a Shell, which is like his magnum opus, which is and it's funny because you can see an evolution leading up to that point. And also his art style changes dramatically. And there's like a sweet spot that I prefer, which is about Appleseed book 3, I think book 2 or 3. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that, doing a deep dive, Billy Baxco says, yes, please, Shiro.
What was the first book called? Black Magic?
Yeah, Black Magic. It's rough, but it's fun to see like where he's coming from.
I've never seen it, so it sounds fun.
Yeah.
It's like it'll be like it can be a bit of a reaction video, and I'm real curious of how his style originated and what he was good at early on. What did he develop? That's always really cool to see.
Yeah, and then his painting technique was really interesting to me because even when he was painting, he would do things where you're like, how did you do this? They didn't have digital back then. But then I found out that he would get prisms or different kinds of things that have different effects and cut them out like screen tone and put them in the painting and paint over it and stuff. So he would have this weird rainbow effect kind of techniques, and you're like, how did you do that? Well, it's because it's a paste on, you don't think about that, when you're painting, you're thinking, I'm just going to paint this, but no, you can throw anything in there, man. Look at Sienkiewicz. He's got like staples in his pages and stuff.
Yeah. These were some of my favorite pages in this book. These drawings are so badass. They're so
I like the dude in the red suit there with the a great pose, the hair. It's almost like Cowboy Bebop-ish.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so good. I don't know what's in his mouth. It almost looks like he's got like a part of it's a jacket. Maybe it's like a knife or a throwing thing, but it could also be like hay or something. Oh, he's so cool.
Daikin Aurora says, what about the hentai stuff? Yeah, we could probably go to that point, which is, it's kind of interesting. He's like got all the money in the world, and I guess he just wants to fart around and do things that he likes. I don't know. That's kind of what I like, is that he's not a lot of mangaka. You see, they kind of get their style and then they stay put. He's one that's constantly evolving. So I like that.
These clothes are so nicely drawn. The folds. Oh my god.
Look at those leg muscles. Oh moly.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
She's cool. It's a fun little outfit she's got on. It's cute.
Yeah, these are great.
Oh, look at her with the violin. She could be in your book.
Yeah, she looks like one of my characters. Yeah.
I know that.
Very fun.
Okay, so we'll start wrapping it up. We'll try to find
Ooh, that's cool. Oh, yeah.
These are interesting because they're that kind of buttery digital painting thing, but they are very, very nice.
Yeah, the drawing itself is cool, but yeah, I like that. It almost looks like that Ken there, whoever the blue and white. It looks like he did grayscale or gray washes, and then went in maybe with digital.
Yeah, look over it.
Yeah,
they have a little bit of like a dirty look, like these ones up here, like they were, like you said, some sort of maybe pencil or pen. Man, look at that. They're so good.
Oh wow, Jasper Plan 9 says, I just got an Arkham Asylum Absolute with the colors digitally remastered. It looks excellent. That's
really?
I really like that book. I wanted to check that out.
Yeah, these are these almost have a bit of a Corbin vibe.
Yeah. Well, Corbin was early adopter of digital painting. So yeah, they're messing around with how to move paint around digitally at the same time.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah, it's very. There's like a real. It almost looks 3D,
Yeah.
but
So these
yes,
girls both have like little, like there's a little bit of like a art design on. You can see it more clearly on her stockings, but she's got something on hers too.
Matthew Fowler is one. Oh no, dumbest name says, I will never understand why some hate anime manga so much. It's the same thing of like how, when you see people that are dog people or cat people, you know, and they're like they hate cats but they love dogs, or they love dogs but they hate cats. I'm like, they're both fine. I know.
I think sometimes there's something's very popular too. There's a reaction that some people have to be contrary to, like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I really dig that, and then you're like here's your cue to say that it sucks.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I can see why somebody wouldn't like it with the big eyes or the weird things here and there they're not used to. But you just look in there and you see, oh, this stuff is cool. I don't know. There's still so much to
Look at
learn.
this little touch right here. So he's got the cutoff sleeve on his shirt, but he also has it where the seam is split.
Yeah.
And you can see the thread barely holding it together. That's
Nice touch.
really, really clever.
I love the bold outline holding all that bloopy color together, but the bold outline really kind of solidifies it.
The toes are painted. Man, it's crazy.
Kelsey, have a cat? Yeah, I do. A very old cat. But I like cats and dogs. I like them all.
This has got a little bit of a Juan Jimenez vibe.
Yeah, look at those laser beams.
It's like the old school sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, I like it.
This looks hand painted. It's pretty designy up here.
Yeah, that city is really wacky.
Yeah, it looks like the
whatever that is.
Old pulp covers. Oh, it's funny.
Yeah,
like very. I don't know if this was the exact thing. That neck is just so funky.
Yeah, back to this. Yeah, the neck is hard. I still struggle with that because it's longer than you think, and the head is bigger on the body than you think. But like when you draw it the way it's supposed to look, it looks like the head is too huge.
Is this a video game box cover?
Yeah, it looks like what am I thinking of? Contra. It kind of looks like Contra, but I don't think Contra is Capcom.
This is like not so good.
Yeah.
This is like this looks like it would be in Spectrum.
yeah. It just it kind of
Oh, here we
not
go.
doing it for me. I like this though. Yeah.
Oh my god. So good.
Hey, that's the little cat thing from Nausicaa. The girl's got on her shoulder.
Yeah, it's cute. Her hair is awesome. Oh my god.
Ikari Warriors? Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Look at this. Dude, so many cool little drawings. Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what I'm looking at there.
So, right? It looks like it's like a snail with like strapped on fake eyes. Or no, the strap goes, this is like a harness. This is an eye and this is an eye that are attached to the snail's head. The horns are affixed with this leather strapping, and then there's another snail up here.
But it's got a body with claws and
yeah. Man,
okay, whatever.
I'll have two of whatever he's having. No,
yeah,
that's so cool. Oh yeah, look at these Chocobo. Probably not, but like Final Fantasy. It's like wow, that's a looking little bird.
No, she never leaves the back room. And Dino, she's a scaredy cat. Yeah, I like this style. This is a little more comic booky though.
Yeah,
it's a lot more accessible. Oh, I love these. Look at that wacky design, man.
I know that. Yeah.
What is that? I mean, do they even know? Do they even have a concept of what they're doing? Like this weird thing coming out of his legs and over his groin. I mean, what the hell is going on with that? I don't understand.
Well, yeah, like
sometimes I like design to make a little sense. I mean, I don't understand what's happening here.
Right. Yeah, that is funny.
I like those shoes though; those are cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god, so much craziness.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know this game property.
Yeah. Oh, look at these.
Yeah, see, I like this style a little more, the cleaner, a little more
Yeah.
open.
Some of these drawings are real nice. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
Her gesture right here is fantastic. Oh man, I miss being at Wildstorm. This is making me nostalgic.
It's amazing y'all got any work done at all.
Yeah, I was able to focus there pretty good. I would get to work before most people were there. So I from 10 until about noon, I could get a lot done. And then they would always go to lunch, and I never really would go to lunch most days. So I would work while they were gone.
Here we go. Jose Garcia says Creon, who I'm not familiar with, and LaShawn Thomas have good takes on the Capcom style.
LaShawn is great.
Yeah, LaShawn is gone on to, he's rocketed past, he's directing animation and stuff in Korea, as last I heard. So he's gone to like the upper echelons of where he's going to go. But yeah, he's fantastic. Fantastic.
Wow, this is cool.
I like this. Yeah, this is that Strider, I think.
Man, that's some crazy art.
I like that good rough style.
Yeah. Man, that's really cool.
I want movies to have posters like this. Like, I don't care that it looks like the actor. Like, I want to go and I want to see a movie poster like this, and I'd watch this movie. You know,
yeah.
I don't need a big shot of the actor's head. You know,
I agree.
Yeah. The movie doesn't even have to be about that. What we're seeing, just put a cool piece of art on the cover, and I'll.
I like this little drawing right here.
Yeah.
Even though it's cropped,
Strider 2. Okay. Yeah. Oh, is that what you were talking about? The Strider 2 art? Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's that. I love that style. Yeah, fun. All this is good.
Okay, so here let's. Well, that was
that's it.
Stream. Holy shit!
That was. That's exhausting. I'm kind of exhausted after that.
We looked at so much art. We're tired.
Too much input. I mean, these days what's funny is like I have a little stack of stuff that I'm looking at for what I'm doing right now. Yeah. And I'll literally like pick it up, kind of flip through it, and then like yeah, and then I'll put it away and then start working. Like it's literally like that fast nowadays, and it's like I don't want to stare at it too much. Oh wait, Zaid Comics has a.
So he's working at an arcade right now that he owns. Apparently, we have all of these games here. Love the poses. Also, don't forget to check out Magic Cop 2. We have a week left on Indiegogo. So, well, best of luck with that, Zaid. Thank you. I
actually just remembered I have a video that I need to finish editing where I color. It's me coloring a cover that I did for Magic Cop 2. So,
Zaid, where is your what city is your arcade in? I would be curious.
Dox yourself.
I used to love. Well, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Dox yourself. It was. I was watching. It was like a guitar channel the other day, and there was a guy in the chat, and he was kind of douchey. Like honestly, like I was getting a vibe that he was kind of like a close. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I got doxed the other day," and I'm thinking, like, "Who's doxing you, dude? You're not like."
It's funny because
people are trying to uncover your secret identity.
Yeah, I've been public for so long. It's pretty easy to find me. I don't really worry about being doxxed. I'm just always like, if you do show up, you better show up with a smile. I know, because I'm from the South. We protect ourselves.
Do you follow Boogie? Do you know who Boogie is? The heavyset gamer guy he's on.
Oh, I've heard of him. I never follow him.
It looks like I'm doing weird stuff. My hands are tight. But yeah, Boogie. Some stalker guy came to his house and Boogie.
Yeah.
With a gun. I think he shot through his door. It was crazy.
Oh my god! Yeah. Well, hey man, you don't mess around. No way.
No, I mean, if someone shows up at your front door from the internet, it's like, it's go time.
Oh, yeah, I'm shooting first. Then I'll find out that it was It was actually John Malin.
It,
Oh shit! Sorry, John.
you know what it reminds me of is years ago there was some troll that was like trolling like a UFC fighter and talking about how he sucked and couldn't fight, and the UFC fighter went to his house and said, "You want to talk shit?" It was the greatest.
Yeah. Well, that was like a whole conceit of like of Jay and Silent Bob movie, right? Where they were going to track down the shit talkers about their movie.
Right. Well, that's such a great scene. I used to quote that all the time. They're like, he's like, people are talking shit about us on the internet, and he's like, what the fuck is the internet?
Yeah. Yeah, good times.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank everyone for showing up. And I hope that this was fun. If you missed part of the stream, obviously it's going to be up on my channel forever. So, by all means, watch it again. I'll definitely watch this back myself. It's I always get a lot out of sort of a second viewing of it where I can sort of relax and look at the art.
I go back and read chat because I get so like double vision when you're doing these streams. Yeah. It's really hard to focus, and like there's so many like fun things and good ideas in chat. It's always fun to go back and read.
Yeah, well, there was a bunch of books that people were mentioning and artist names where I was like, I honestly will say this though, that it was like I was excited and I knew that this would be a fun stream, but I have to say that in today's social media and trying to present your art in an appealing way on something like Instagram, there was a lot of ideas that I personally got from seeing this, because it's like I always struggle with like how to handle Instagram, and there were so many great like spot illustrations in these books that it did kind of give me ideas where I went like, you could do like a daily sketch of something like this that might not take too long, and I think people would really enjoy them, and you can always, as long as they're original ideas, you could always collect them in a book later. So
everybody's definitely got a few people that are interested in the Shiro, which I'm totally down for, because I actually been wanting to go back and read some of those early books. I was reading Dominion not that long ago, and it's so fun. It's so good. He's such a clever writer, and he's so different than almost everything else you read. So there's a reason why he stands out. And like, apparently he's not even that famous in Japan. So, which is really interesting.
Now, if someone is recommending Capcom versus Marvel, is that an art book? If it's an art book, I'll look into it and see.
Well, I know that's a game, right? Is there an art of Marvel Capcom? Yeah, because I have seen some art. I love the way that their take on Wolverine is real like bloopy, and even Magneto looks like that, real bloopy, like kind of like that the guy doing Darkstalkers a little bit.
Right. Thank you guys all for showing up. Seriously, we really appreciate it. We try to have a lot of fun with these, and your recommendations, we do. It's funny because my channel, unlike other comic book channels, we don't tend to get a ton of comments, and I've kind of asked Kelsey, like, I wish that there was a way we could drum up more conversations, and not like in a fake way, but I mean, we do actually enjoy your feedback. So if you have if you have recommendations for videos and stuff like that, please never hesitate to like say it in the comments section. And I mean, we read the comments, and sometimes I don't reply. It depends on when if I see it on my phone, it's a little more laggy to try to reply, but we really do appreciate it. I have the Intron Depot books.
Those are fun.
I'm trying to think if I might have done an Intron Depot video before, so you could search the channel and see. There's a high likelihood. Who's the Japanese artist that did the book Orange?
That's I got it right here. He's an animator.
He's good. I did a video on that book.
Forgetting his name all of a sudden.
I don't know if I have it in my office right now. It sort of comes and goes.
Let's see. I'll have to read Japanese, but
Koji
Morimoto. Yeah.
Oh, so good. That's one of my favorite books.
Yeah, this is an excellent book. If you can get a hold of this one, and
show them the title. It's called Orange.
Yeah, it's just called,
or as I like to say, Orange.
There it is. Orange.
That
Koji
book is
Morimoto scrapbook.
Get that book. It's amazing.
It's super thick. It's got tons of fun stuff in it.
He's so good.
He's another guy that he lets his imagination go, man, and he just tries a lot of different stuff.
He's from Studio 4C. Thank you, Jose.
Yeah, good stuff.
His short Noiseman sound insect. So
That's a great one. Yeah,
I don't think I've seen it. Oh,
Oh,
Tarada's
it's freaking nuts, man. That guy is totally in another world. My favorite though is his more commercial thing though. He did an adaptation of Otomo's Memories, where the guys are in space and they get a signal to like an SOS or something, and then they go out there and they see this giant space station in the shape of a rose that's being built. Magnetic Rose, and Koji Morimoto did the adaptation of that, and he just made it so good. It's so good.
That's in the Memories movie, right?
Yeah, it's the first one actually.
That's my favorite one of the three. Although I do like the last one.
It's my favorite Otomo comic too. Epic put out a single issue of it, and I love it. But the adaptation brings it to like another level, and his use of like, what is it, Madame Butterfly, I think the opera in it. So good.
It's very Kubrick.
Yeah. Oh, so good. If you guys get a chance to see that, you will not be disappointed.
Oh, Stink Bomb is Jose's favorite. That's
I like that one too.
yeah.
I like all of them. I even like Otomo's thing. Yeah, go check it out.
I was a little disappointed in Steam Boy. I would definitely watch it again, but I remember being very excited for Steam Boy, and it kind of wasn't exactly what I was hoping for.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
it's no Memories. It's no Neo Tokyo.
Right.
That was a good one.
Oh man. Okay. Well, you guys all have a great day. This is going to be good.
All right.
We're all going to have better art and ideas.
We better.
Okay, I'm going to sign out. Kelsey, take off that fake beard. Bye, everyone.
Don't tell it, buddy.